Hello to all of you. I have been working very hard. Oh, I am kind of tired, but on one hand, a little part of me says I hope that reading story doesn't make me tired, but then again, it would make me tired because it drains my voice. And I've been filming a lot of stuff in the off time of this stream. I just finished filming my IS6 ending 2 guide. It took me about 3 to 4 hours to finish that filming. So, that's hell. And I still need to film quite a few things because I haven't finished the second part of the Enfield. No, I haven't even not say finished. I haven't even started on the second part video. So there's lots to do, and yet the unfortunate thing is that the Atto event is also kicking in so fast. So stress, really. But I'll do what I can to pull through and deliver on all of these streams. This also means that since we're already reading chapter 10 today, and chapter 10 is a long chapter, I technically shouldn't dilly-dally too hard and I should just jump straight in, and experience everything. Let me just double check again. What is the word count of chapter 10? So definitely it's gonna be in two parts, because I think if I read chapter 10 in one go, I would die. I think it would be about maybe a 10-hour stream. If I'm optimistic, I think I'll finish chapter 10 within 8 hours. It depends on how fast I read. Yeah. Oh, it seems like 10 is one of the longest one. Then 11, 12 starts becoming a little bit smaller. And then it becomes shit when we go 13 and 14. Which means, I guess before Enfield release, it sounds like getting to 12 is possible for me. So yeah. New chair's looking good. Does it look good? I don't know. I cannot judge what a chair look. It's like, wait, hold on. There you go. I don't know why it was. Actually, why is it allowing me to lean back? That's not what I want it to do. Wait, my chair is confused. It's not confused. All right. Am I going to be reading Lone Trail before the later chapters? Actually, which chapter is what's the in between chapter of Lone Trail? Meaning between chapter one and what? I think I will, because people did mention that I think it's like 14 or something, that having known Lone Trail is probably gonna be good for me. But that also means that I can't just read Lone Trail straight away. I need to read Dorothy's Vision first before I read Lone Trail. There's too much connections lah that I need to do. Or Lone Trail's after 14, then that's fine. I don't think I'll be able to read 15 before, like, no, in fact I think I'm only reading 15 like in between. While Enfield is out. So yeah. Okay. Anyways, even though I'm streaming right now and I'm gonna be doing this reading session together with everybody, I need to. So I posted two videos today, and I genuinely hope that you guys enjoyed those videos. Um, One is of the cosplay cafe that was held in Malaysia, and then the other one was the Ato event, along with all the various dates that people need to take note of. Surprise, surprise! Today is an intentional big upload day, because I just want to see what happens when I upload too many videos in a day. Right? It's not all the time that you see 3 videos being posted in one day. So it's been a while since I did that. The last time I did that was when I was producing guide videos, and I was producing like videos for every single stage. But I decided, what happens if I just post 3 different videos? Will you all enjoy it, or will you all like it? And actually, the last video that I'm going to be posting, which I'm going to be posting it while I'm streaming, is pretty ambitious, because I haven't posted a meme video in a while. So we go from vlog to news to meme in one day. Let's see if you guys will like this kind of posting. Unfortunately, if you're here to sit with me in the reading stream, okay, that's kind of funny, because technically a stream counts as a video as well. So there's literally 4 different genres in one day. What the fuck is going on with my own channel? No idea. But reroll. Okay. And I think enough of you have rolled in to this stream. So shall we continue where we left off? Okay, actually, I was going to probably continue from where I left off in Vigilo, but I think I'm gonna restart the reading and read from the very beginning again because I have a feeling I'm forgetful and I don't know what the hell happened. When I know that Kenneth was there, I know that Amiya was there, but I'm like having vague memories of like why they're even there. So there's that. Okay. Oh, thanks for all the stream street. Race. We can do this. I should start a cooking stream after this one. Man was hallucinating last stream. I won't deny that I probably will end up hallucinating again this stream. What's a good stop point for chapter 10? Let's quickly figure this out. What's a good 1/4 mark? Or 1/3 mark of chapter 10? Or where's the cliffhanger? Where's the, if I stop it today, it's a good cliffhanger for tomorrow? I'm not gonna do till 10-11. I'm assuming the raid stage means that it's a significantly harder stage and like it's also a significant story portion. Maybe I'll read till 10-7 and then 10-8 to 19 I read tomorrow, I think. Okay, Vigilo first. Alright. Time to restart. Actually, I don't remember what happened. Should I re-narrate? I remember the Dylan and Blaze interaction from the previous stream. Chat, you decide. Do I re-narrate this? Or should I just continue from where I think I remember, like I forget stuff? Read? Okay, I tell you what, because this whole thing is like a second arc in itself, I'm gonna skip. No, I remember now. The part where I really started losing my mind was when they were in a camp. They were there to what was their purpose there? I mean, I guess I'm asking the question because I forgot. I remember what the CG of the scene was. Okay, yeah, I remember that they were trying to reconnect with Blaze and all, and then they navigated through some lands. Okay, I think I'll read from here. Right, we start from here. You are up very early, friend. Where's the little rabbit? Is she not awake yet? Maybe the aroma of breakfast will be more effective. Short-tailed fowl bees don't have much meat, but they can suffice as breakfast. This is a specialty of the Colombian wastelands. Worry not, it's free of charge. A new day comes to Terra and the situation has not changed, as far as I can tell. Nevertheless, good morning, friend. You were talking in your sleep last night. Your mental state has seemed a bit unstable. Do be careful. What did you hear? I'm a trustworthy person. I didn't go out of my way to listen, let alone remember anything. Plus, you were only mumbling. Couldn't really hear anything clearly. Every night, the little rabbit is very concerned about your sleep talking. Pardon me for being nosy, but after all the chatting we've done on our journey, it is hard not to take certain impressions. Have you lost your memories or something of that sort? I see. If that's some sort of secret, let's say I never asked. It is an uncouth question indeed, and I asked out of simple curiosity. Some things happened to me, and I lost some of my memories. Maybe most of them. Occasionally I'll recall some of them, just tiny fragments. Maybe not occasionally, only a few rare times. Friend, I have a vague idea of what's going on. Suppose your memory is a spread out newspaper and now someone has spilled a bucket of paint on it. You can only see bits and pieces of the content through the gaps in the paint, but you can't grasp the full picture of that content. I can't even say if your analogy is accurate, I don't know. It sounds like something that defies all words, friend. But I am no psychiatrist, and there is not much I can do for you. Sometimes I even find myself thinking about the kind of person I was before all this. I don't know who I am. I can only piece myself together from the words of others. That's not important, friend. Our existence is often based on how others perceive us. The sum of yourself is but the feedback of auditory, visual, and emotional interaction with others. It doesn't matter what kind of person you are, but from a social point of view, it should be quite clear what kind of person others need you to be. Oh shit, what did I just click? Do you know any tricks that could help me get my memories back as soon as possible? I do, but I can't recommend it. Let me think how to put this. Our lives are like an elastic belt. If you stretch out one side, the other side will contract. If you want to restore your memories quickly, you will have to endure many unmanageable consequences. That quaint head of yours might not withstand such a tussle. Besides, this only applies to the most common form of amnesia. Whether for your own sake or for that little bunny who you value so much, I'd recommend just taking things easy. By the way, the little rabbit's up. Doctor, good morning. Morning, Amiya. I'll leave you two to it then. I'm gonna fetch some firewoods. Amiya stands beside you quietly, watching the sun rising in the distance. The rays of light are slowly melting the cold tones of the wastelands, every piece of the rocky desert dyed by the gradually rising sun. Perhaps you have never set foot upon this land, but in a corner of Terra's vast domain, you once wandered with Amiya. You once left your footprints in this sparsely populated world. This should have been your impression, your fragments of your memory, but the truth is, this is a story Kelsit told you. In the cold wind of the early morning, you rack your brain, trying to find a tangible thread within your hazy memory. The light of daybreak, the cold wind of the wastelands, you and Amiya, Amiya and you. You can remember, and yet you cannot remember. Amiya takes hold of your hand. Doctor, are you okay? I'm fine. I remember it was around the same time. We spent our first night in the wastelands and watched the sun rise over the horizon just like this. You asked me a bunch of weird questions. Of course, all of that happened years ago, but it seems like it was just yesterday. Sorry, Amiya. It's okay, Doctor. As long as you're here, one day, things will get better. Next day. Several huge engineering vehicles and armed off-road transports make a circular formation on the rocky, barren expanses surrounding several makeshift sheds. The noisy din of generators and the roar of original boilers can be heard near and far, intermingled with the loud conversations of travelers and messengers. the messenger outpost, an oasis of civilization beyond the ecological oasis of the wastelands, your destination. Finally, we've arrived safely at the post. We didn't encounter any major difficulties on our journey, nor did a catastrophe befall us. You are quite lucky indeed, friend. The third car from the left is the messenger contact station here. You might be able to contact your group there. The messenger rates here are pretty good. But the room over there has the logo of Mama John's on it. Are you sure it's fine? As long as you keep a low profile and don't cause any trouble, there won't be any problems. This is a messenger outpost after all. Even in Colombia, few companies will go out of their way to get on the messenger's bad side. Doctor, wait for me here. I don't stand out as much as you do, so I'll head down to the messenger contact station. Mr. Kennard, can I trouble you to stay with Doctor for a while? I'll be right back. Don't worry, little rabbit. I am good at hiding people from prying eyes. There won't be any problems. Relax, friend. Look at those armed vehicles over there. Do you see those anti-armor turrets? Trust me, it's very safe here. Here, have a sip. It's a specialty from a local microbrewery. Give it a try. Is this beer? Indeed, I've heard the owner of this microbrewery is an infected. Unexpected, yes. Even among Colombia's pioneers, there are few who can accomplish this much. Now is not the time to drink and make merry. Fair enough, why don't we go relax over there and listen to the news? You know, the very best thing about Colombia is that they provide radio base stations for all the wasteland outposts. You can hear the news on the radio just about from anywhere. Almost all cities have intra-city broadcasting, but the decision to cover the wilderness with base stations is unique in Terra. You should take it all in, and treat it like sightseeing. Yeah, I remember reading this, don't worry, but I'm rereading again just so that I don't lose any detail while I was sleepy. Back to reading. The armed conflict that occurred in the northern district of Toronto has gradually subsided. On-site, police found evidence of a large-scale crossbow shootout, but have not apprehended any suspects. The Toronto police announced that one of the parties involved in the conflict has ties to a foreign company, Rhodes Island. The specifics of this organization are not known at this time. Some sources note that this foreign company has certain commercial conflicts with a local firm, but the spokesperson of this local business declined to comment on the matter. The police believe that this may have been a terrorist attack on Toronto, and the specifics of this armed conflict are pending further investigation. Doctor, you're back, little rabbit. The people at the messenger contact station didn't come to work until 3 past noon, so we'll have to wait. The news just now. It sounds like your people have withdrawn successfully, which is a good thing. But Mama John's probably got what they came for. Most regrettable. We're the victims, but the police are looking for us. Something like this is a routine operation in Colombia. That bunch moved quickly and wiped their asses in advance. Don't dwell on it, friend. You'll leave this place soon enough. It's too late to manage this problem now, but be more mindful about it next time. Before that, Mr. Know-It-All, can you tell me why they're so desperate? Very well, it seems you've made your mind. Are you familiar with Colombia's business, my friend? How many times have you had to deal with them in the past? Rhodes Island has had some simple dealings with a few Colombian technology companies. Oh, I'm sure simple dealings are decently good on the surface, but my friend, the ugly and indecent parts are not often placed on the table for everyone to see. Come then, I will take you someplace, so you can see something fun. Next. Hello, I need this month's dose. Sure, let's take a look. Mr. Dave, is it? I saw your application. You've been a model employee this past month. Here's your monthly medicine ration. Thank you. Thank you. Would it be possible to get next month's dose in advance? My wife is in a pretty bad shape lately and I need... Mr. Dave, according to company regulations, we are unable to provide any medication in advance. Thank you for your understanding. But as you know, we always prepare additional medicine for commercial sale, so you can always go next door to purchase more oropathy suppressants. But company regulations, Mr. Dave. Thank you for understanding. Next! What is this place? Shh. This is the frontier department of Mama John's. Keep a low profile. The passing of medicine to the infected. In Colombia, many things operate in a way unlike elsewhere in Terra. For example, consider the wasteland pioneers. Pioneers, the lifeblood of Columbia's westward expansion, the writers of Columbia's wilderness stories, the protagonists of the Columbian dream. They signed a contract with Mama John's and opened up land in the barren wastes, establishing residential areas for Columbia and its companies. Depending on how they work, companies will also provide them with medicine and supplies as a sort of wage. Here, take this. What on earth? This is the medication that they give to the infected. You are the expert here. I doubt you need me to explain. This is not an oripathy suppressant. Of course not. You know better than me. This half is a generic painkiller, and the other half is a nutrient solution. Why? It's not a question of why. Don't you see? They don't need to sell real suppressants. These pioneers infected from all over the world have never seen a real oripathy suppressant. Though these things can't actually suppress oripathy itself, they can relieve the symptoms of the disease. The product of Mama John's works, and works quickly, and that's good enough for them. The concept of suppressant is new to Terra, and naturally, they wouldn't know. Since they can make painkillers, they don't need to make real suppressants. Why do they care about our technology then? That story would be even more interesting. Did you know before Mama John's became a big name, they were just a donut chain? How could they have mastered the technology to produce drugs? All their pharmaceutical production lines are purchased from other companies such as Beach Brella, Tower Mountains, Ryan Lab. Now that they sell painkillers as suppressants and make so much money, do you think the other pharmaceutical companies will sit on their hands? They've been thoroughly beaten down by other companies, but they've also learned a whole lot. This time, they've decided to directly off their partner something that is distinctively Columbian. With your batch of samples in hand, I suspect the landscape of their cheap drugs will soon change. A more efficacious drug with a stronger analgesic will convince more people that this is in fact an oripathy suppressant. How can this be allowed? Road silent samples are not oripathy suppressants at all. Those samples haven't been tested for safety yet and might have serious side effects. We haven't. Let me tell you what will happen next. Mama John's will use your technology to make more and more suppressants at lower costs. Of course, those poor pioneers will become the guinea pigs. Will they die? Let me tell you the truth. Even without Mama John's, they will still die. Columbia Frontier has been bought with the blood of the pioneers. Their life expectancy is not long regardless. But those who remain, those whose lives were not claimed while paving the wilderness, are ever more likely to work for them in exchange for these so-called suppressants. This medicine gives some short-term pain relief. Maybe it can even buy them a few extra years. Hold on, Let me check something real quick. For some reason, I still cannot post the video. Okay, I was gonna post one new video while this stream is going on. But, yeah, I can't post it yet. Oh well, I'll do that later. Then, the newspapers across Columbia's major cities will publish headline after headlines of their great achievements right on the front page. Mama John strides into pharmaceuticals, bringing new hope to the infected. Impeccable! As for the truth, it is not all important compared to the actual effectiveness of the analgesics. Of course, you can tell these poor people, those drugs that you're taking can't actually cure oripathy, but can be best regarded as expensive painkillers and placebos. And then what? You keep telling the truth, saying that even the best suppressants by far can't bring back their completely normal lives, and that they will continue to be accompanied by sickness and pain until they die. On the subject of oripathy, Rhode Island indeed stands at the bleeding edge in this world, so you know the truth. But is it a truth that they can stomach? And this is Columbia, my friend. Nothing will change and everything makes sense. People come to Columbia with hope, create value with hope, and die with hope. But we can't just sit around and watch them use Rhode Island to... See, this is very practical. You cannot save them. Nobody can save them. Not to mention, it is difficult even to protect yourselves now. For the infected who harbor hope in their hearts, hope never existed in the first place, and you know this better than they do. You should contact your people sooner rather than later, and find a way to get back. I don't want to admit it, but facts are facts. I know that hope is a cruel thing indeed. When you realize it can't be undone, when you realize you are powerless, when you find yourself nothing but desperate, hope is enough to drive a perfectly good person mad. People believe what they want to believe, and that makes them feel much better. You look over to Amiya. You watch her ears slowly droop, her eyes filled with sadness, then stained with helplessness. The two of you have seen much, but you both will see more still. You both understand all this, and in fact, there is no need for the wasteland merchant to explain it again. In the distance, along the border between the wastelands and the sky, the sun slowly sinks. Day is about to draw to an end in Terra's wastelands. The light is about to fade, and the twin moons will soon take its place in the sky. The sun will still rise tomorrow, but not every infected will see the coming dawn. Even if there are still enough drugs to suppress oripathy in this place, it is too late for so many more. Nothing will change. Nothing will change. But Mr. Cannot, even if hope will continue to bring us pain, I still think it's worth it. If we give up on hope, what is the meaning of everything that we've had to endure? Oh, quite the rousing speech, friend. You did not convince me, for you will find it hard to do so, but I felt the sincerity of your emotions. I do like how you still refuse to bow to reality despite having seen it. Though, to be honest, you've already embarrassed yourself. Let's put that speech aside for now. I know you two are very practical people, so I will pose a very practical question. I'm curious, what will you do next? You've already arrived at the messenger outpost at the border, and you will be leaving this place soon. Do you plan to turn around and head back? What then? To be frank, my friend, unless you have some way of getting your things back from them, you will have a very hard time resolving these matters. Will you charge theirs single-handedly with all guns blazing? Should I lend you a burden beast so you can look like a hero of the veil from the indigenous Colombian people's folklore? Oh, I almost forgot. You can't fight. Mr. Cannot, please don't say that about Doctor. No, Amiya, he's right. Sometimes we don't necessarily need to use force. From the sound of things, you plan to appeal to reason. Alright, you can leave now. Thank you very much. Doctor, it went well, Amiya. Don't do that again. I was worried sick. You played your bag of tricks quite well, my friend. Very clever. I'm glad that this little excursion I took you on was not in vain, nor was me waiting out here for a few days. I really did underestimate you. But I am a bit scared of you now, my friend. I'll take that as a compliment. I still don't understand what happened. Simply stated, our clever friend here voluntarily surrendered to Colombian customs and border protection, saying that your company had smuggled a batch of oripathy-related drugs into Colombia. If you know anything about Colombian laws, you should know that oripathy-related drugs are the most strictly regulated medical products. The company that lobbied to implement this law in the past spent a lot of efforts to monopolize the drug market in Colombia. The information provided by our friend here definitely alarmed the Colombian Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Arts Unit, and Originium, and they certainly aren't easy to deal with. Per protocol, the Bureau's security forces went there in no time and seized all items in this smuggled product trade. But we have complete contracts and records of our cooperation with them, which should be easy to find. That's the important part. Miss Rabbit, when they chose to attack you, they had no intention of leaving any footprints. They have destroyed all evidence of this cooperation, and nothing would match up in the investigation. So what kind of situation would prevent a company from leaving behind any evidence of a transaction? What else but shady business? So it was the Colombian government that seizes all the samples. According to law, they will destroy these smuggled goods, and then there's nothing after that. Mama John's is pretty much omnipotent around here, but what if the scope extends to cover all of Colombia? Colombian Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Arts Unit, and Originium. Their name might be a mouthful, but they have some competent people, and they'll be watching closely. I understand now, but even with that being the case, won't Rhodes Island have a blackened record? This is Colombia after all. There's not a company out there with a perfectly wiped rear. Pay a fine, sign off on the ticket, and it won't be long until people forget about it. Perhaps people might have already stopped caring. After all, in order to cover their ass, Mama John's might have inadvertently given Rhodes Island its best cover. And in case the Bureau really came for Rhodes Island, they would be the ones in trouble. Of course, your doctor did spend 3 days in the Bureau's detention room, which is its own price. It's hard for me to evaluate this move, Doctor. Dr. Keltze is going to be mad. I'll just tell her what I learned it from watching her. I wouldn't mouth off like that if I were you. Oh, Blaze, the gang's all here. The well-built feline operator is looking at you with eyes of helplessness. Doctor, you caused a real big uproar this time around. Fines, fees, jail time, and even the Colombian government investigating illegitimate business practices. But I have no clue how you managed to sort it all out. I almost had to call Dr. Keltze myself. How the hell are you gonna explain this to her when you get back? I have my ways. Doctor, please don't ever take a gamble like this in the future. We could contact the ship and wait for support. Besides, Rhode Island already has a contingency plan for dealing with such situations. At least the trip through the wastelands was fun, wasn't it? Fun? I suppose just a little. Doctor, don't change the subject. After we get back, you have to tell the whole truth to Dr. Keltze. I'll help you with the report. Okay. Then I suppose it is time to part ways, friend. As I said, our journey together was the most enjoyable. Thank you so much, Mr. Kennard. I do believe we will meet again in the future. Until then, I wish you good health. See you later. Who was that? Gave me the sense that there was something else under that nice front of his. Doctor? There's something I'd like to ask you. Back then, you said you needed Mr. Kennard to do you a little favor. What was it? You're a real crazy one, friend. That's a rather destructive trick you got there. So, what do you need help with? Though we don't want to use force, I still want to keep the option open. In case of emergency, I'd like your people to do some cleanup work for me. Wait, hold up! Easy now. What do you mean, my people? We've been followed the whole way, right? The strange man has gone silent, but you can't judge his expression under the thick bucket helm. However, you feel that the silence harbors neither anger nor dissatisfaction. Well done, Doctor. I thought my friends did a good job concealing themselves. This whole time, I took you for an intelligent but overly sentimental person. You truly are full of surprises. Well done, Doctor. Of course I can help you with this little favor, though I believe that with Miss Amiya's skill, she won't really need my help. But business is business, and what can you offer me? I'll turn a blind eye to the documents you took from our car. How does that sound to you? Beautifully played, friend. It's a deal. If everything goes well, we will see you in 3 days. Of course, my friend. I wish you the best of luck. Oh. Does that mean cannot build him? Or is this something else? Alright, you can come out now. You alone? Is it over? Not quite. The upcoming show should be quite entertaining. That one's extremely dangerous. We shouldn't let him go. We could come up against Rhode Island. Why should we help them? Just trust me. The existence of an organization like theirs is good for us. The longer such people live, the more interesting this world will become. Let's go, friends. We still have a lot of work to do. So, I mean, it gives the context of cannot, right? Did this story come up before IS2? Cannot is just like a shady merchant, basically. That's about it. That has ties with various people who are willing to work with him or become like his minion. So, he exists for a while, like Tin Man. What does that mean? But is the significance of this story just background on who Cannot is? That's about it. IS-1 was way before this. But you couldn't rob him in IS-1. Could you? I don't think you could. You can shop from him. Alright, hold on. The YouTube is acting weird. I can't push my video. Not yet, at least. Soon I will. What else? Okay, continue reading. By the way, I don't really know who Rust Hammer is. The only time we've heard about Rust Hammer was Kazimier's, right? Maria, no. But then, I don't really know the background of Rust Hammer. Rust Hammer is Bone Crusher in EF. There's a crew of people. So, cannot have a tie to someone? Like an organization of some sort? Or is he a lone wolf? There's wanderers in the desert that hates them. Oh, I see. Remove the electrodes. What's the prognosis? No new developments. Doctor, I've scanned your brain 7 times over the past month or so, and the results are always the same. There's nothing wrong with your medial temporal lobe, and the neurons in other brain areas are as active as they are in most young people. Meaning you don't need to come to medical for these unpleasant tests so often. Then what's wrong with my memory? There's no doubt that you have lost a lot of your memory. Even someone like you won't be able to manipulate the results. Those memories are episodic, chiefly concerning the subjective awareness of your identity, and even more so about all your experiences before you fell asleep in the Chernobyl sarcophagus. In contrast, your procedural memory has recovered extremely quickly. From my reports or Amiya's and Doberman's observations, this conclusion is clear. Your ability to command, and as exhibited during the Chernobyl incident, is not significantly worse than before. So I'm still useful? To Rhodes Island, you are far more than just useful. Even if you truly lost all your memories and become an ignorant bystander, Amiya would not have regretted saving you. And there will always be a place for you at Rhodes Island. In any case, I believe that skills you possess will play just as key a role as they did in the past. I want to be able to help you. I know. Much! And I've seen how hard you've been working. After leaving Lungmen, we've been able to make our way through the wastelands for some time. The operators need an opportunity to rest, Amiya in particular. Likewise, you also need a chance to catch your breath, don't you? I don't want to stop here. With PRTS to help you, it won't take long for you to adapt to your work at Rhodes Island. However, I don't want you to push yourself. Rhodes Island is not the only thing that has emerged from a terrible disaster. You have as well, Doctor. Your physical indicators have more or less returned to normal, but your memory is still damaged, and your mental state is unstable. As a patient, overwork can only harm you. Ooh, you're also a patient. That's a funny one. Me? I appreciate your concern. Though I can't say I'm used to oripathy, I can assure you that I'm the last person you should worry about. Doctor, in the span of one short month, you've taken over the staffing of several departments of this ship. In addition, I've seen you reviewing past battles together with combat operators to further explore the possibilities of tactical optimization. You've even been reading during this entire examination. Are you looking at the briefings submitted by the new operator who just reported in a few days ago? Furthermore, I've seen your notes. Those records about even the most trivial of the operator details, those flashes of tactical inspiration, those calculations for determining Rhodes Island business efficiency, and even those scrolls that I can't make sense of. They are all evidence of your commitment to your duty. Although most of these tasks can be completed with the assistance of PRTS, I think this is your preferred method. I guess PRTS data lacks a bit of human touch. PRTS is just a tool. Avoiding over-reliance on tools is a good working habit. All of your abilities are recovering rapidly, not only due to your detention of procedural memory, but also due to your extraordinary efforts. Conscious exercise will help your brain return more quickly to your pre-comatose state, and may even bring back your memory faster than expected. Do you want me to recover as quickly as possible? I am your doctor. There's not a doctor out there who does not wish for quick recovery of her patient. That said, if you end up collapsing due to overwork, you'll disrupt Amiya's condition as well. I see. Are you only concerned about Amiya? These sentiments of yours that occasionally leak through are quite unlike the past you. While this is rather intriguing, if I am the object of your feelings, let's just say with no need of that. I've told you many times over that ensuring your physical and mental well-being has always been one of my duties. So yes, even here, I still care about you, even without a battle. It's strange that you talk to me like this. Today's exam is over. As I said, you don't need to report back here at the same time next week. The regular morning and evening checkups will continue for a while. Lancer 2 will look after you for me. If we ever find that your physical condition does not support your continued work, you must immediately return to medical. As for now, you may return to your work, Doctor. Earth Spirit, what brings you here? I've updated the geological monitoring. Wait. Earth Spirit. I can picture her voice in my head, but I cannot imitate it. Yeah, I can't seem to imitate it. Don't just tell me German. I don't know how to be a German accent. I'm not good with every single one of my accents. I've updated the geological monitoring report that I submitted this morning. You needed to make an adjustment so soon? That's unlike you. The numbers change quickly. Made me miss my afternoon nap. Forward the report to your team leader. My recommendations are at the bottom. Sure. Strong winds warning, is it? That's no problem. The engineering department strengthened the storm shutters 2 days in advance, and logistics notified everyone to stay away from the at-risk deck area. That's not all. Keep reading. There might be a strong windstorm ahead of our route. Should we slow down or make a detour? How dangerous is the windstorm you're talking about here? I don't know. I looked at the anomalies in the data and made my best call. All I know for sure is that there's more than one cyclone forming ahead, and it's far more intense than anyone would expect. Sounds pretty vague. We set our route a month ago, and it's already been approved. We're looking at a big mess if we change it on the fly. You were in that meeting, right? We chose the route for its super low risk profile. Over the last decade, caravans from Langban to Litanian have been back and forth over this route dozens of times. Yes, in theory, we've avoided the catastrophe-prone areas, and the probability of encountering danger is low. But you're also not sure. The bosses want us far away from Ursus and Langban as soon as possible. Whatever. I just need to make sure that you got my warning. Deciding what to do with it is not my job in my job's description. That's up to you. Settle down, Earth Spirit. We've got protocols. I'll notify the team leader, and we'll discuss. There's no time for that. Doctor? Why are you here? Shouldn't you be in your office? I was going up onto the bridge. Now that's some coincidence. If you're taking the report, are you going to explain the situation to our team leader in person? The situation is urgent. I'll let Amiya know. It's that serious. That's not good. Doctor, you believe me. I believe in my operators. Then I'll go to the bridge with you. I'll continue to observe the situation in real time and report to you and Amiya. Not going to ask for overtime? This is within the scope of my duties. Warning! The wind speed is increasing rapidly. At these numbers, our visibility is going to fall under 1 kilometer within a few minutes. Did you turn on the assisted driving function for the sandstorm mode? We've had it on for a while. It was part of the itinerary. But Amiya, this might not be an ordinary sandstorm. My goodness! What is it, Pavel? Sensors detecting thunderstorm clouds ahead. Open the PA. Tell the whole ship that Rhodes Island will pass through a thunderstorm shortly and raise the alert level by 1. Central Command personnel, slow us down right now. We're rocking a lot. What's the situation? The pressure on the hull side panels is skyrocketing. 70% of the outermost storm shutters have been damaged or are basically failing. Also, multiple abnormal heat sources detected near the hull. Energy amplitude approaching critical threshold. Does this mean... Yes, it's a catastrophe. Doctor, how can this be? It's a supercell. Alright, I got it. All hands, activate code red catastrophe alert. Evacuate all personnel on the first deck, bridge excluded. Gather all non-engineering personnel from the 2nd to 6th level in the central area for safety. Central control, maintain minimum speed cruising. Navigator, how long will this desert thunderstorm last? These sudden onset storms usually pass within an hour or 2. It's hard to say for sure, Doctor. Earth Spirit? Earth Spirit, your analysis. Yes, Doctor. Mr. Pavel, the doctor gave you the report I completed an hour ago. Multiple small cyclones within 2 kilometers. This doesn't bode well. This catastrophe is no ordinary desert thunderstorm. We could be looking at a maximum strength windstorm. Can I borrow one of the sensors on the bridge? Of course, I should have seen it myself. It's alright, Mr. Pavel. This is an extremely abnormal phenomenon and well beyond the scope of normal catastrophe prediction. An experienced catastrophe messenger would have some trouble spotting all the signs in time. If not for the doctor's assistance, I would have treated the outliers as errors and glossed over them. I'm getting a real bad feeling about this. Doctor, Amiya, the small cyclones ahead are converging and intensifying. In other words, the core of the multi-cyclone vortex is about to generate. Once the core forms, I estimate the cyclone will reach 2 kilometers in diameter and last at least 7 to 8 hours. What happens if Rhodes Island maintains its speed as it approaches the core? If it comes into contact with the vortex, the ship's hull may collide with high-speed original active dust, roughly equivalent to the simultaneous detonation of hundreds of maximum payload original bombs across the bulwark. I'm sure you can guess how that might go for us. Do we have enough time to change course? I can try. The core of the windstorm changes directions very quickly and can reach a maximum speed of nearly 1000 km per hour. Then there's no point in us trying. Amiya, even if we try a full speed retreat, if we get unlucky with the direction, Rhodes Island won't escape the storm. Then it seems like the only thing we can do is stay put. Mr. Pavel, give me a potential damage assessment. If we spend 7 hours in the thunderstorm of a similar scale, the first to 6th decks will be damaged by maybe 15%. Of those, the first deck will take the hardest hits, and casualties are likely. It'll be the biggest loss the ship takes in a year. But I don't see any options. There is a way. Doctor? We won't have to take damage. Yes, if we stop in the wastelands, we could face other threats. Since we can't retreat and don't want to stop, what else can we do? Doctor, are you suggesting that we continue straight ahead? That's out of question. Visibility is so low. Even with assisted driving, I can't navigate. I'm from Sargon. Plunging headfirst in a sandstorm like this is suicide. I understand your concerns, Mr. Kamal, but I trust the doctor. Doctor, are you sure about leading Rhodes Island through the catastrophe zone? Yes. Good. Please cooperate with the doctor. Calculating a safe route in such a short time sounds like a bad joke. If anyone can do it, it's our doctor. I've heard stories of the battles and all, but operating the land ship is nothing like field command. I don't know about this. Of course, I don't doubt the doctor's ability, but I've never heard of this real-time calculation method. It just might work. Earth Spirit, can you make sense of the doctor's formulas? No, but they feel a bit familiar. Right, I've heard a similar formula from some whiz kid a couple days ago, but the doctor's version is more complicated and varied. Amiya, we're ready. Let's head forward then. Leave it to me. Okay, Doctor. Go forward until you're in my position. From the moment I saw you appear on the bridge, I trusted that the situation would definitely turn around. Attention, everyone on the bridge. From now on, I'm transferring command to the Rhodes Island landship to Doctor. All power to the engines. Got it! Message from Closure. The engine is ready, and she wishes us good luck. There's nothing wrong with going a little crazy every now and then. If I knew I'd be sailing like this, I would have brought some booze. Rhodes Island, all ahead full. I'm getting a nosebleed from this speed. That's because I elbowed your nose. Sorry, but the whole place is shaking so much I can't control my limbs. Is this seismic damper malfunctioning? Looks like it's not just my imagination. The whole ship's falling apart. Spirit, you haven't taken your eyes off the screen at all. Cyclone number 2 is continuing to move 30 degrees southeast. Cyclone number 3. Cyclone number 4. Doctor, hold my hand. I've got you, Amiya. Doctor, did I step on your foot? Your ears are making my face itchy. Are we shaking less hard right now? Oh, wait, sorry. Not... I read that wrong. It's not hard right now, because that's a very different connotation, but it's more like hard right now! Yeah. I didn't even notice that strong wind just now. If it caught us, there's no telling if we would have been able to stabilize the hull at this speed. Did the downburst make contact with the ground? Only 2 minutes until the core of the storm forms. Maintain current trajectory and keep moving forward. Wait, I see the cyclone. There's one on the left and another on the right. We're surrounded. Rhodes Island is going to collide in just 2 or 3 more minutes. Keep going. It's impossible to avoid them. We don't have enough space to maneuver. Trust me. I'm trying real hard, Doctor. But I don't trust myself so much. Forget it. If Amiya's with you, I'm on board too. Even if I have to tie my hand to the steering handle, I'll keep pushing it forward until the very end. I just regret agreeing to swap shifts with that stinky lad, George. 75 meters, 50 meters, 30 meters. I've never seen a catastrophe cyclone up close before. Doctor, are you afraid? I'm a bit nervous, but I'm not afraid. We've been through times like this together before. The closer we might be to despair, the bigger everyone's hopes are, the more incredible the outcome will be. Doctor, this is what you taught me. Hope comes from the commitment to never give in, even at the bitter end. Yes, Doctor. You once said the exact same words. Oh, leak. Red alert! Red alert! Attention everyone! Prepare for impact! Just like before, we'll get through this crisis together. I think my record's looking pretty good. The wind is subsiding, and the color of the sky is changing too. Report! Rhodes Island has left the catastrophe zone. The damage to all deck levels is less than 5%, and nobody was injured. Thank goodness. My nose hurts. Pavel, do you know you hit my nose again? So what if I did? We're alive, I say! Alive! Fine, but you owe me a drink. Whatever you want, it's on my tab. I was made a big mistake. Doctor, it's all thanks to you. Absolutely brilliant calculations, Doctor. Doctor, is your command always so thrilling? I'd like to get another taste sometimes. Doctor, how in the world did you pull that off? It's how you got prophetic arts or something, suddenly showing up on the bridge right before we get hit by a catastrophe. Shouldn't we celebrate? Doctor? Amiya hugs you suddenly. You realize that the hands on your waist are squeezing you tighter than they were at any point during the storm. Thank you. Thank you for standing by my side. Not half bad. Thanks. The relationship between the self-replication speed of Originium and the increase in energy. You applied this knowledge to the calculation of the wind catastrophe trajectories. You demonstrated similar abilities in the past, helping your colleagues at the time mitigate losses from the catastrophes. Some called you a catastrophe expert. Hold on. By the way, I finally figured out I cannot pronounce catastrophe without feeling pressured. I once told you guys that I cannot say the same syllable twice, and it just so happened that catastrophe does something like that because of test and tr, which is like T and T. My voice feels very strained when I'm trying to read that word. But we both know what you really specialize in. What do I specialize in? That formula. You still remember it. It jumped right into my head. You created that formula yourself. You've recovered a lot of information about Originium and catastrophes over the past month, and you left a lot of calculations in your notes. Perhaps the sudden crisis dredged up the latent memories from deep inside your consciousness, or perhaps you reinvented it using the knowledge you had left behind. The fact that you could recall this formula proves that you still retain a basic understanding of the nature of Originium. In other words, you've never forgotten your identity as a researcher of Originium. This seems to be my duty. You may see the study of Originium as your duty, but know that our actions should never be restricted by duty alone. Doctor, what drives you to pursue the study of Originium so fervently? I guess both you and Amiya have orography. I once heard an answer to this question. It was very similar to what you said today, but also completely different. The person who uttered those words had an instinctive desire to unravel truths unknown, and also worked hard to save lives. But sometimes, salvation also means destructions. Salvation also meant destruction. This is what the same person told me. Do you still harbor that same answer deep within your brain? Don't say a thing. Amiya said your performance on the bridge today was much like that of an actual prophet. Why are you staring at me like that? The rational part of me wants to believe in science. When the results of your first brain examination came back, I thought I saw some errors in the process. And so there was a second time, a third time, and even a seventh time. The rational part of me told me that repeating the same results 3 times was enough to prove that you weren't lying. Without a shadow of a doubt, you really did lose a lot of your memories. You don't remember what you did to Teresa, and you forget why you were standing here in the first place. All of this has caused significant dichotomy between you and the person I once knew. But just like I allowed you to do the 7th test. In this... Wow, my voice is so strained. But just like I allowed you to do the 7th test, in this moment, I once again find myself doubting. Who exactly is standing in front of me? How much of the past remains, and how much of you blooms anew? You're being sentimental again. Perhaps I won't deny it. Dealing with you always has a tendency to sway my emotions. But this is also born of extreme rationality. I hope you understand. There can be errors in our measurements, and in your case, I can no longer tolerate any errors. There's something I wanted to ask you for a long time. Setting aside your role as a doctor, do you want me to regain my memories? Situations are rarely black and white, and the same is true of human emotions. I've not concealed my hatred for you in the past, but no matter how much I hate to admit it, there's something else there too. You're searching for the truth of the past. Without a doubt, I seek that answer. Ideally, I want to hear the truth from your mouth, but I will not give up looking for that truth in other ways. Now, it's my turn to ask you. Doctor, do you want your memories back? I do. Your answer doesn't matter. I see your hesitation. I should have saw this coming. Once your memories... Wait, that felt very third wall. 4-4. Why did I say third wall? What the fuck is a third wall? My house. Once your memories come back, many of your questions will be answered. However, not every answer will satisfy you. You will know where all the emotions pouring into you come from, whether it is the hatred from me and W, the unconditional trust from Amiya, or even further back. Excess memories, intense emotions will instantly flood your entire brain. Trust me, What you will feel at that time will be far greater than exhaustion. What you should fear even more is when the past finally catches up to you. You must decide. What if those memories are too strong and engulf all the hard work you've put in recently and pull you back into the abyss that you failed to crawl out of over countless years. Once the current you is defeated, everything you've worked so hard to build will collapse, and your will may no longer be your own. So let me ask you once more. Doctor, are you ready? If luck is on our side, you will not need to answer this question anytime soon. I want to thank you. Over the past month or so, you've shown me some new possibilities. Especially today, I learned that you still remember the formula. It turns out you and I are not the only ones preparing for that day. I suspected this long ago, that home-use life functions restoration device was not supposed to have the defect of deleting one's memory. In particular, it's impossible to selectively delete the part of the brain most likely involved in decision making, but still retaining the parts most meaningful to you. Doctor, what I think is, she trusted you even more than I could fathom in the past. That being the case, we should continue to work hard. Just as I've said countless times already, I will help you as long as we continue to stand together. Professor, are you here? Fiala, come in. Professor, they said you wanted to see me. This is for you. Is it about my application to become an operator? Oh, it's been approved? That's great news. Everyone said you and Miss Amiya would turn me down because of my condition. I convinced her. I see. You even went out of your way to get it approved. Thank you. The briefing you submitted this morning helped Rhode Island through a crisis. You mean the catastrophe this afternoon? Professor, do you read my analysis? Your original vein expansion observations were incredibly accurate. It was just a hunch. They said the density of original near the surface around here would be very low, but I saw the same situation in a volcano in southern Lithuania. Even a small amount of original proliferates rapidly over a brief period when the conditions are right. 2 days ago, after finishing my daily treatment, I was walking around the domes as usual when I saw the approaching phenomenon from the dust samples on the porthole. In sandy terrain, a sudden burst of original energy will cause the ground temperature to rise rapidly, leading to a significant increase in the possibility of large-scale wind catastrophes. I'm so sorry. I can go on and on about this stuff. Please continue. You've already seen the report, right? Busy as you are, I never expected you'd read out our random notes. I also read your thesis. Professor, are you interested in my research? If you're not too busy, I'd love to stay over and have a nice chat with you again. You're welcome to look around. There are so many books on your desk. Annals of... No, it's not Annals. It's pronounced as Annals. Annals of the Great Yen Classics. Wait, that sounds like the artifact. A Tower Without a Legend. Columbia Judicial Observation Notes. Conquest and Assimilation. Professor, are these the books you normally read? Your interests are so diverse. It's nothing like the bookcases of the other professors I knew. I think this one will introduce you the most. These are your catastrophe research notes. Just a rush draft. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll study these thoroughly. If I have any questions, may I come to talk to you? Anytime. The young scholar clutches the notes you handed her tightly, lifts her head, and looks at you with conviction-filled eyes. Professor, my life has been a series of wonderful surprises since coming to Rhodes Island. The stability of my oropathy has given me a lot more confidence about my future, and people like you have given me the hope to keep moving forward. If you're working so hard, then what reason do any of us have to give up? Professor, thank you so much for leading Rhodes Island forward and on into the future. Wow. Who said Vigilo is a small story, yeah? Vigilo very long, eh? I think the word counts as a scam. Oh, but it's only... it's a 6-parter, it's so long. Like, if everything is this long, this is a 3-hour read, my god. It's good to have the background knowledge on Ayer from reading that. I wasn't expecting to see Ayer. I'll continue reading, but there's a little part of me that says I want to consume something. What the fuck is going on? Hold on. How am I? Someone asked while I was reading the chapter, by the way. Brain. There's so much to do. I spent the entirety of today filming. I didn't do a filming stream today, but I actually spent the entirety of today filming. AK. Not Enfield. I'll continue once I finish this spread. I feel like I'm gonna sleep exceptionally well today. Once I'm done with this reading stream. Okay, ready. What's the voice I want to give you? I bet 300. It's just a pile of broken scrap metal. Not worth the trouble. How do I be deeper than that? Okay, I'll try to vary it a little bit more. You sure? I'll bet 500 then. That thing's important to us. How do you figure? Intuition. Or should I go deep but in a higher way? Not tricky to find old gadgets in the waste though, when catastrophes blow them out all of the time. But intuition tells me that that's not your average trash. What are you two chatting about? Oh, Doctor. Good evening, Doctor. We went to a drifter settlement yesterday while on field duty, and turned out something fairly interesting. It's just industrial scrap. I've seen this stuff all over the western wastes. Not worth your time, Doctor. But incredibly, it's industrial scrap that still works. It seems to be playing some kind of audio. Music? You'd be hard-pressed to convince me that that's music. There must be a reason why this is the one time that Doctor doesn't have a dialogue choice. Instead, it's just like that. No, I guess flashback. That's why this is not a dialect choice. The circumstances it was found in. There was a strange machine in the middle of the Drister settlement, painted red, very heavy, and made strange noises when anyone came near. The Dristers weren't too keen on approaching it, but they still set up camp around it. We ought to have it moved back. Then Keltsit might know the specifics of its technology. Spend cash to drag back a pile of industrial scrap. Have we even had the luxury? Perhaps that Banshee might take a liking to it. If you have some personal beef going on, I suggest you don't bring it to work. Sounds interesting. Time permitting, we can visit the settlement together sometime. Maybe I'll be able to tell you what it is. Oh, looks like our gamble's gonna pay off then. That is settled. Once Her Majesty's affairs are worked out for the time being, together we'll go. And keep to that deal. You awaken to an unpleasant mechanical noise. A normal day. Before your eyes is the ceiling of an ordinary living room in Rhodes Island. The furnishings look just as ordinary, though the hum of the ventilation system seems a bit deeper than in other cabins. You know why. It is one of the most inconspicuous parts of your many peculiarities. You wash up perfunctorily. That's a hard word. This part isn't so different from ordinary people. You take special medication to maintain your condition. This part is a bit different from ordinary people. Next, you don the full body protective clothing that hampers your normal activities, but considering your physical condition, it is necessary. It may also be temporary, depending on the recovery. These are all orders from Dr. Keltsit. According to her, you used to know more about these things than she did, but now only she can look after your health. Of course, Doctor. You are not like that one. Is there anyone else out there like us? Is there anyone out there like you? The world has not been kind to you, and you know this. Doctor, you're awake. Considering how late you stayed up, you can rest a bit longer. Don't worry, I'm feeling pretty energetic. Really? I'm worried you may be a little too energetic. Oh, by the way, Dr. Keltsit stepped out for the day. She asked me to tell you that the meeting is postponed to tomorrow. Do I actually get a day off? Yes, that's why you should take the advantage of it and rest up. What a luxurious word. Oh, Doctor, good morning. Eh? Oh, Doctor, good morning. Wow, Doctor. You actually got time to come down to the cafeteria for breakfast today. Yes, I have the day off. Would you look at that? I never see you in the cafeteria so early. What impression have I given you? What impression? Probably a workaholic, chronically overworked all year round. Seriously though, this is long overdue. You've been like this ever since we left Lungmen. Don't want to see you break down. Be a little kinder to yourself, Doctor. After all, we were... God damn, what the hell are you doing? Loose lips, sink ships. It's fine, you're exactly right. Oh, it's not that, Doctor. That's not what I meant. Well, whatever. Enjoy your breakfast. I'll leave you in peace. The operators gradually disperse, and you find yourself sitting in the corner of the canteen, a rare occurrence indeed. Rhodes Island, a place that makes you feel both at home, yet also estranged. Just like those clear but also unrecognizable memories, a pharmaceutical company with the primary goal of resolving the problems surrounding the infected. It is said that the past you was intimately connected to all of this. It is said that you played a key role in its establishment. It is said that you were the brains of Rhodes Island, and that Rhodes Island was the extension of your will. A portion of what was spoken of has been slowly returning to you, but you are not sure if this is good or bad. You have forgotten too much. Rhodes Island has welcomed you, but you don't know if you are worthy of its welcome. Your breakfast lies before your eyes, a bland but healthy meal. You know that this, too, is Celtic work. Over the past 3 months, your life has been filled with these feelings. Everything is so strange, yet so nostalgic. Conceptually, these feelings are completely contradictory, yet they manifest in front of you together. 3 months ago, during the sudden outbreak of rioting and conflict, they, Rhodes Island, rescued you from the epicenter of the turmoil. In the ensuing conflict, too many people lost their lives. So many of the deceased recognize you, yet you do not recognize them. So many of the deceased heard about you, yet you have not heard about them. You gave your utmost, gaining respect in the process, and your hard work finally bore the fruit of victory. Yet that victory still came laden with inevitable pain. Up until now, you had but one question, a question that you've repeatedly raised to yourself but have never been able to answer. Is it all worth it? Stretching out before your eyes is the most unique warehouse in all of Rhodes Island. A large number of unclaimed objects are stacked in this warehouse. A petty payroll operator is struggling to wipe down a badly damaged shield. You recognize the shield and remember the former owner of that shield. Remember that tall, somewhat slovenly operator who's always sported a hearty smile. He was once your friend, or so you've been told, but you don't know anything. You're wary of this repetitive, contradictory nonsense, but nothing better encapsulates the current state of your existence. All the specifics sift through the cracks of your fingers. You extend your hand to catch them, but the fine sands of memory are dragged down by gravity and fall into the abyss, grain by grain. Doctor, how do you end up over... This is Ace's shield. Yes, it belonged to him. Every week, I come by to keep it clean. It's so heavy. Can you lend me a hand, Doctor? It's really, really heavy. I always have trouble lifting it back onto the shelf. You step forward to help her, but soon you realize you are too weak to lift the shield even a single centimeter off the ground. Whereas you were able to do it in the past, but such a task is no longer possible for your convalescing body. Kelsey has reminded you of this, as well as everything else. Hey, Doctor, don't lift with your back. Never mind, I can do it myself. But this is Asia's shield, I should at least... Don't worry about it. They always say you're the smartest person on Rhodes Island. Let me help. Alright, just like this though. And be careful. We did it. By the way, who are they? Let's see. Instructor Doberman and others used to say that, as well as the elite operators, including Ace. He used to talk about you. He said that you could stand up to half an army by yourself. Were you and Ace close? Huh? Were we close? Ace was close to everyone. That's the kind of person he was. The very reliable type. During training, he taught us all sorts of things. Fighting as a team, cooperation, breaking encirclement. The elite operators are always busy, but Ace took the time to drop by the training grounds. I always thought to myself, when could I become as reliable as Ace? Beagle stares at the shield with a sad smile. The dust from the warehouse plasters her face and her hair and face, but the payroll operator doesn't seem to care. You look around the room, and in the corner of the shelf, something catches your attention. Various photos and ornaments stacked in a small messy box. Underneath it are some old faded documents. This is... Oh, that's... Doctor, you shouldn't. What is it? These are... Things that belong. They're from the reunion fighters back in Lungmen. The handlers in the processing room were discussing what to do with these for a long time and ended up stuffing everything in here. You flip through a few photos. These old yellowed stained photos almost all depict Ursa's people. Most of the people in the photos are clad in ragged clothes, showing a mix of awkwardness, joy, or numbness when facing the camera. On the backside of a silver pendant in the box is an engraving in the Ursa script. To Ivana, my darling daughter, may she always know happiness. Among them are former enemies, as well as former friends. You know that some of them fought against Rhodes Island to the bitter end, and you also know that some of them became allies of Rhodes Island in a time of crisis. You don't know all their stories, but you do know the suffering of the infected. You know, and yet you do not know. Sometimes, those of us who were there will also ask ourselves this question. All of us have been through disaster, Ursus, the infected, as well as us. But was all of this truly worth it? Sorry, I shouldn't be venting my frustration, but every time I come here and see these things... Anyways, please forget I say anything. Doctor? It's fine, don't worry about it. It's already 3, gotta head to the training grounds. If I'm late, Instructor Doberman's gonna chill me out again. Gotta go, Doctor. Remember to lock the door, okay? The payroll operator rushes out, leaving you alone with the ownerless objects stacked in the warehouse, save the slowly settling dust of time. You are about to turn and leave, but a strange red shadow enters your field of vision. Curious, but just not enough to stop your movement. It's just a strange red machine. What? Real talk, don't you guys just get hot in here all day? Don't even think about heading up to catch some fresh air. The heat is just right for us, Goliaths. Besides, someone's gotta keep an eye on this equipment. Rhodes Island depend on the power system here. Whatever keeps your motor running. Getting ready to leave. There's nothing for me here. Plus that old hack Kelsey is giving me the evil eye again. I'm actually really surprised that Dame Kelsey even let you back on. Do you have any idea how many swords the hack has been hanging over my head right now? More than you could ever. Oi, look at that corridor over there. Wanna guess who's standing in that corner? Are you going to Victoria? Guess so. Just had a few words with my dear old pals before I go. We'll all know what you're trying to do. We also know we can't talk you out of it. But I have to say it one more time. Going to Victoria is not a good idea, W. I think Sarkis maybe shouldn't. Whatever. I'm just a boiler worker, and I shouldn't be saying this stuff to you. Forget I brought it up. There's something I've wanted to ask. Most of the gang already left, so why are you staying behind? With your skills, don't you think you could make a good living anywhere? Her Majesty left us this home. No reason we should leave it. Having a place we belong to sure as hell beats wandering the waste. Besides, the burly Sarkis knocks on the nearby machine. We have to protect the things Her Majesty left behind. I guess it's not much different from what you're trying to do. And you know that, W. Better than anyone else. Protecting a boiler? That big old hunk of steamy machinery is your home, huh? Basically, yeah. I'd say this boiler is my purpose in life. Laugh if you want. Yeah, you know this isn't exactly a laughing situation. You're still thinking of us, and we appreciate that. Safe travels. Saps. It's time to go. A voice from the shadows. W looks up, and though the light isn't on, someone has been staring at her from the darkness since the beginning. I know, Escalon. You're the most impatient one of all, aren't you? But you're really not gonna let me see the doctor or the dragon lady. There's a lot I still want to say to them. Giving me the cold shoulder. So, Ines still alive? What's the situation in Londinium? Then, what's the plan? You used to be with Theresis. Fine. Speaking with the silent treatment isn't easy. You used to be a lot more talkative. I guess seeing me pissed you off. I'll leave then. Happy? It just so happens that I had some stuff to check out with the old hack first. Otherwise, I wouldn't have wanted to be here either. We work together for now. Work together, huh? I'm not sure if I called it that. It's more like making sure I've got all my targets nice and clear before we meet up out in that war zone later. I'm not gonna randomly stroll into Rhodes Island. Don't worry. Though those folks sure have an interesting look in their eyes. It's a warrior's look. You see it in battle. The sarcasm in the shadows does not answer. W knows of this habit in Escalon's line of work. The rule is, each extra word makes your head hit the ground a little bit faster. My dear sweet Escalon, you're not my boss anymore. See you in Londinium. What's wrong, W? You haven't left yet. That's weird. How come there's nobody here? The roar of machinery fills the lowest level of Rhodes Island, the area that provides power to the entire ship. The Sarkaz Goliaths are the operators responsible for running it. On weekdays, the bottom level is populated pretty exclusively by technical staff. You're wandering around aimlessly. In these 3 months, you still have not set foot in every corner of Rhodes Island. Rhodes Island is like a small nomadic city. Though much smaller in scale, it is still well equipped. Its internal structure is far more complicated than it seems at a glance, and the power plant is one such example. Why is it so lively here today? Nobody ever comes down to a place like, oh, Doctor. Roger told me that you were looking for me. Yes, that's right. Actually, I've been wanting to talk to you for a while. But you didn't need to come down here in person. I'm drenched in sweat, and it's way too hot for you here. Why don't you take this somewhere else? How does that sound? Sure, but what's the rush? It's just about some nostalgic stuff. Sorry to make you hear my rambling. The burly Sarkaz man puts down the wrench in his hand and removes his dirty work gloves. From the bottom of his toolbox, he takes out a small teapot and the accompanying teacups, contrasting sharply with his large, rough hands. Do you drink tea? Am I the one bothering you? Don't worry about it. You're here. I might as well take a break. I'm glad to have some then. You... I won't try to hide it. In fact, I never thought I had a chance to chat with you like this. Seems like you're in a bad mood. Is something wrong? Something to do with the weather? He knows more about Rhodes Island than you. You suddenly feel that it is the Sarkaz and his fellow workers who are keeping Rhodes Island going. They grasp at the lifeblood of the landship in their hands, yet they deliberately avoid the public eye. You're grateful for everything they do, but don't know why. It's hard to see the weather when you're working down here, even through the lower windows. All you can see is the dust kicked up by the threads. I don't know what complex problems you're mulling over, Doctor. I'm just a simple boiler worker. I'm not exactly the big brain type over here. You have something you want to tell me? Yes, Doctor. Miss Amia and them Celts are always ready to help you. So you should probably start with them. There are too many things, and bottling them up isn't a good option. Some things are hard to talk about, but you seem to know a lot. How long have you worked for Rhodes Island? I'm an old Rhodes Island hand, Doctor. We used to know each other. I took orders from you a few times before I started my technical work, even if you don't remember. The only advice I can give you is this. If they can't be the ones to answer to you, who else can you give the answer to you? You are the one she put her trust in. She trusted you. And she trusted in them. Looking for an answer. In fact, I just saw W. She's here? Doctor, you must know by now, but W and Rhodes Island have a connection. And you're mixed up in that too. When the Sarkaz like Famebringer showed up in Rhodes Island, I knew this day would come. It's something. From Kerstel to Ursus, Zen to Langman, and on to us here today, and even on into the future. We've kept moving forward, but we keep bumping into the same faces we started this journey with. Only now, they bring some far-reaching effects they left behind. Doctor, you're back. I haven't seen you all day. Where have you been? Just wandering around the island. It's fine. Getting enough rest is also part of your job. I feel kind of listless, going a whole day without work. Doctor, I'll tell you a little secret, but don't let Dr. Kelsit know. The truth is, Dr. Kelsit didn't have anything that important to do today. She didn't need to go out. She's seen how tired you've been lately and wanted you to take a break. Oh, but you look pretty happy. Did something good happen? Nothing in particular. It's just been a long time since I've talked to people like this. By the way, Amia, I think I saw something strange in the operator's storage room. Storage room? Doctor, what do you mean by something strange? It was red. Oh, you're probably talking about that red industrial scrap. You might not remember, but there was a bet between Scout and Ace. One day, they brought that device back to Rhodes Island. Closure spent some time on it and decided it was useless, so she let it sit there in the warehouse. Can I go take another look at it? Oh, of course! Among the various discarded, unused mechanical equipment in the warehouse, that strange device towers above the rest. The box-shaped device stands more than 2 meters tall. The red paint on the surface is clearly visible, but has been severely worn down under the perennial erosion of wind and sand. It's this thing! You're weird, Doctor! Why the sudden interest? When they first brought it back, the box would make noises as soon as someone got close to it. But I think Closure broke it. What do you mean I broke it? It was already like this when I moved it back here. All I did was study it a little. Thanks, Wafu.
Can you believe it, guys? Enfield, just 2 weeks away. Wow, how exciting.
Why is the text-to-speech so funny? I've never been able to figure out what this thing is for really. Originally wanted to see if I could open it up, but ended up breaking 3 power sources without a crack. So yeah, Doctor, do you have any idea what this is? Do you reckon you can fly? Doctor, are you okay? All that work finally rotting your brain? You observe the enigmatic device carefully. There are no buttons and no gaps under its worn-out metal casing. You haven't seen anything like it before, at least in your existing memory. You have no impression of it. You lightly knock on the casing of the device, out of curiosity. Doctor, watch out! Did anything happen? Don't worry about that right now. Just stand back. After a violent rattling noise, the device lets out a small ding. The complete box-like structure suddenly opens, the once seamlessly shut outer shell sliding up and down like a cabin door. Inside the box-like structure, you see an artifact with a metallic luster. Unlike the wear and tear that the outside of the box had been subjected to, everything inside is as smooth as ever, with no trace of the passage of time. However, the man-made object within fills everyone with a sense of familiarity. This is a bottle of beer, right? No matter how you look at it, it's just a bottle of beer. What the heck? I thought there'd be something super high-tech in it. Something a bit more constructive. After all that time, it turns out it's just a vending machine? What's the point of making something this tough anyways? You need it to withstand an original bomb? But isn't this a kind of weird color for beer? I'll have to look into it some more. Doctor, do you know what this is? Nope, just a heap of scrap metal. What really matters is we got ourselves an extra bottle of beer. For Closure, this beer, just put it in the room, next to Ace's shield. CG? Wasn't that the bet? Fuck, what was the bet? Did they say what the bet was? Did I at the beginning of the story? I hate Ace. No, my brain is starting to cook. What was the bet? Oh, they bet what the device was. But they both didn't know what the device was, right? No one... What were they betting? Oh! The purpose of the machine. Oh. Right, makes sense. And Doctor was in that conversation as well. Okay. Not sure what this story is supposed to do. Am I sure I can reach chapter 10? No fucking clue. My brain is starting to short circuit on the right. I need a toilet. Be right back. Just memories of the past.
Accomplished.
Here, continue. You're saying that the two of you have known each other for a long, long time? Don't worry, I'm just a bit nervous. After all, you've known the Doctor for longer than you've known me, and I would like to leave a good first impression. There's just one thing though, Kelsit. You have some concerns about the kind of person the Doctor is now, right? It's written all over your face. Let me find out as well, Kelsit. I'm really curious. What sort of person is the Doctor who is so closely connected to your past? How should I go about it? Meeting this Doctor, exchanging pleasantries, connecting the Doctor to myself and the Sakes. These are all questions I have to answer for myself. My opinion can influence you as well. So, Kelsit, take me to see the Doctor, won't you? Good work, Scout. It was just a recon mission, part of my job. Where are Kelsit and the Doctor? The conference room. Is something wrong? Our spy in the military council has returned our intelligence. They don't intend to give us any breathing room. Unfortunately. A spy? Are you talking about that vampire noble? Your Majesty, I believe she only answers to the Prince of Blood and is untrustworthy. Most of them are nothing more than speculators looking out for their own interests. Unless forced by the situation, I doubt she would even enter the war. Of course, I understand your concern, Scout. But at least for now, she won't lie to me. She hasn't worked up the courage for that yet. Keltsit? Doctor, are you too busy? Your Majesty, is your meeting over? Yes, but the results aren't exactly a cause for celebration. Am I interrupting your work? By the way, since I rarely get out of my meetings before noon, would you like to have lunch with me, Keltsit? It's too early. I suppose it is. No, I meant to say, you're a lot earlier than usual. It's hard to imagine that the people in the chairman's office would just let you go about that easily, unless the result is so bad that there's nothing to talk about. Even if that's the case, you still did come a bit too early. I guess so, but we anticipated this current situation a long time ago, didn't we? So the discussions didn't go as smoothly. I guess the situation is worse now, to the point where talks are about to break down. What happened? The military council has gained support, and our information channels throughout Castle are shrinking. Babel will likely come under siege in the fall. Some of the Sarkers betrayed us, which is to be expected. But Babel is not fully prepared yet. Sorry, Keltsit, by the looks of things, we won't keep it together for that long. The King of Nexera and the rest of the royal court, they've only put forth a more demanding request. Don't worry, Keltsit, they're just targeting me. But we no longer have the leeway to deal with more mistrust. Teresa. What is it, Doctor? I haven't formally solicited your advice yet, and it would be unbecoming of me to start giving orders rashly. Doctor, it seems we'll need to get a bit further away from Castle. This calls for a full relocation, or in other words, a retreat. Do you have a second opinion? This might be the only option. If possible, I would have liked to give everyone more options, but we're out of time. The military council's ideas are both too heavy-handed and direct, and I stood firmly opposed to their ideology. But to prevent Castle from making unnecessary sacrifices, we'll have to leave immediately. Temporarily. I truly believe, that we share the same heart, and the same blood flows through us. But even blood can be separated and transfused, and I don't know when we'll be able to merge again. At least for now, separating is the least damaging option. Every Sarkis has a desire to follow her beliefs. I can feel your convictions, and there will be many Sarkis following you. But I will not help you make a decision. I can only bear witness. Yes, that's the best arrangement in front of us so far, Doctor. Alright then, without further ado, the two of you should pack up and get ready to set out. How much can we take with us? Unfortunately, not much. We may have abandoned a large number of our facilities. Escalon will buy us time. That's more than enough, Teresa. You don't need to dispatch any more hands to help us. I'll bring the doctor back to rendezvous with you safely. Then we'll follow the pre-arranged plan, Keltsit. The person in charge will arrive later. But Doctor, Keltsit, I'm sorry to make you evacuate in such a hurry. We'll have to put the research on hold for the time being. How I hope to see the fruits that they would bear. I'll work hard to create a space where we can continue our research. Finally. I believe things will take a turn for the better. Who are you? Don't move. I'm not like those idiots getting themselves killed for no reason. I caught you alone. You shouldn't be doing this, Sarkis. Is that what someone in your shoes should be saying? I lost my patience a long time ago. Her Majesty, she even put you on a pedestal, letting you talk down to us. But you've done nothing for us at all. You don't understand us all. You and that feline uneven Sarkis, you don't belong in Castle. Now you swarm around Her Majesty, using the intimate position of yours to push the babble she dreams about. Don't make me laugh. Her Royal Majesty Teresa, the great hero, thriving for 100 years, she needs foreigners to direct her every move. I don't trust your ilk. Outsiders who have nothing to do with us. You, Doctor, to think that Her Majesty trusts you so much despite being an outsider, still act like a bystander. Let me hear it from you then. Which side has a better chance of winning? The fact that you can only think of preserving your own hide proves how pathetic you are. Are you done? What? Scout, what are you doing here? Don't underestimate Escalon, traitor, let alone Her Majesty. Her Majesty chose to be a missionary of benevolence, to allow people to get a taste of the right to freedom. But you use that freedom to do something vile. You clearly know that Her Majesty respects the Doctor, and you've also heard the Doctor's public statements. This one has nothing to do with our civil war. But you took advantage of Her Majesty's kindness and the Doctor's tolerance. Maybe there's no need for me to judge you, traitor. Doctor, I'm merely doing what has to be done. I get this, Scout. But he wanted answers from me. If he wanted to kill me, he could have done it already, instead of getting caught up with it in his own choices. You're still saying that now. Fine, you call the shots. Let me talk to him, Scout. Teresa wouldn't mind. Damn you! You want to talk reason with a knife to my neck? Ridiculous, damn it! Why do you think Her Majesty has chosen to trust two outsiders? Why does Her Majesty trust you? It's nothing more than you using your rhetoric and silver tongue to manipulate fact and fiction. Ridiculous, hilarious! Her Majesty, our king with her lofty ideals, is buying into this clown show. Okay, Sarkis, call me a clown, but I can't work with Teresa anymore. The ship has sailed. You think you don't trust me? It's Her Majesty that you don't trust. What gives you the right? You're getting led around by the nose. You can't be a loyal vassal. You can't buy into her vision. All you've got is that title, Her Majesty. You can throw around to add weight to your choices. Bullshit. You can talk like that about me. You dare say that I don't believe in Her Majesty's way. Those were your words, not mine. You filthy outsider, choke on your own spit. You want to hear my opinion? I'll tell you, Sarkis. I know for a fact that it's not my fault or Keltsit's that you lost your faith in Her Majesty. You started to lose trust in her and look for someone else to blame. You talk out of your ass! If I really left Her Majesty, I would have taken your head with me. If it's really my fault you don't buy into Her Majesty's sermons anymore, why bother confronting me? You're scared of Her Majesty's strength, or are you scared you can't change Her Majesty's mind? You're still lost. You don't know your own destiny, but he wants it. It doesn't matter who you are. He knows that there will always be people like you, and there will always be such a bridge. Who are you talking about? They awakened you, worked you up, and it's not so I could listen to your talk. He wants to know what Teresa says, and how I react. I was never a part of the Council's plans. He needs to confirm this, whether Teresa acquired any additional power. Who the hell are you talking about? Dirty tricks! Fake blattering! Just to lure me into confessing to defection! Just to put on a show for Scout! No, Sarkis. I only want you to walk out of this place alive. What? Are you joking? What kind of joke is this? The one who can guide his people to survive is the one crowned king in their hearts. I recognize you, traitor. That night, you carried the wounded Escalon back to camp, and it was you who brought the final message from the fallen soldiers to inform the whole army of the location of the recon team. So I'm giving you this opportunity. Impossible! Why should I believe you? Take a good look at the situation, traitor. Regardless of what the doctor says, you have no choice but to believe it. No, Scout, don't be deceived. The purpose of releasing me is to rehabilitate those lies. I'm not going anywhere. You want to slander me as one of Teresa's spies? You don't have the slightest idea of what I've been through. Enough. Your Majesty. Doctor, are you injured? No. Your Majesty, this incident broke out so quickly because I didn't notice the situation within the team. No, I told Scout to stand down. Otherwise, the Sarkis might have already been executed. I understand. Your Majesty, It's you. Yes, when I was giving my sermon, you were standing below. You are one of the many faces in the crowd. What the doctor said is right. You and your mercenaries have made military gains for us. But that is not an excuse for your current actions. Your Majesty, You don't trust me, Marco. You who rescued so many of your compatriots and brought back information for us from the most dangerous of places. Now you're no longer willing to trust me. No, I can't even bear to look up at her. What have I said? Your Majesty, it seems there won't be any use interrogating him. The situation is grim, and we need to evacuate imminently. We must immediately confirm whether there is any unrest with you among the team, or if there is a Castle spy. Please hand him over to Escalon. Yes, before that, Doctor, can you tell me what he did to you just now? He didn't do anything. This might have been an assassination attempt, but I don't see that as a case. Doctor! Teresa, if I was to say that he is by far the most innocent one, would you believe me? Doctor, this is no time to be cracking jokes. Scout probably doesn't see himself as part of your skit either. But at least this Sarkis is indeed not on the list of spies that the captain named, Teresa. Damn outsider! How dare you call her Majesty by name? Do you hate Keltsit? Do you hate Doctor? Just because they are not Sarkis, not because of what they've done or what they will do. Yes, that's exactly right, Your Majesty. There's so many excellent people around you, so why do you insist on letting these outsiders... Shut your mouth! Yes, I understand what you mean. Allow me to ask one more question. Scout, what's your verdict? I respect your judgment, but per my opinion, he should be taken into custody immediately and locked up. According to military law, there can only be one outcome. Indeed, this is but one choice. We are always faced with countless choices. No matter what schemes or designs he may have, he will be unable to resist the desire. This won't be the last time you see actions like this. Teresa, if your tolerance creates further troubles, it will eventually threaten your safety. He simply made an unfortunate decision. No, Your Majesty, please! I can explain. I am Sarkis, a Sarkis of Castle. I just couldn't bear the thought of you and Babel being so far away from Castle. Initially, this was the thing I resisted the most. Underhanded tactics and tricks. If this was not the only way to achieve lasting peace, I would not be able to swallow this pill. But the Sarkis have been waiting for too long. Among the countless wars, we must utilize this war, along with equally innumerable lies, to open up this world and understand its emotions. Keltsit, Doctor, this will be the attitude I have towards you. We share the same beliefs, and we can complement each other. Therefore, I choose to respect the Doctor's choice. Doctor, please tell me how you'd like to end this. This Sarkis. He carried out an act of betrayal, not against me, but against an image of Teresa in his heart that had disappointed him. He cannot be called a traitor. As far as I can see, Her Majesty Teresa is willing to grant freedom to so many people. Why not exile this Sarkis and see what choices he makes? Let him fend for himself upon this land. He may find a new faith, maybe in you or someone else. Why are you doing this? I'm opposed. Even if the existing evidence does not prove his involvement with the military council, I do not deem it prudent to release a soldier who openly attacked his commander. Teresa, Your Majesty! Leave it to the army. Yes, Marco, you are a Sarkis mercenary. So Scout, take him to see Escalon. Babel will decide your fate. Escalon will decide your fate. That you consider yourself a Sarkis of Castle means you cannot leave. Your Majesty! You're putting me to death! Scout, before he has any outburst of emotions, restrain. No! You're right! That's right! Kill me! You're doing the right thing, sending a flick like me to hell. You were a war hero. To execute a traitor, a nobody like me, is what you should do. Behave yourself. I was wrong, Your Majesty. You still have what we long for, The story we've heard for decades. The banner of the 6 heroes still flies. How many grown up listening to the tales of you leading the Sarkis against foreign invaders? The masses wait for the era to come again. I've been waiting. We've all been waiting. We're still waiting for those legends to reappear. Waiting for that blood-stained history to reignite. That is what Sarkis should be. This is what Sarkis must be. Your Majesty, now this is justice. You have become justice. Your Majesty. This is the current situation. The mercenaries we've been able to contact will arrive in 2 days. Whose team is it? Hodres. Hodres is an excellent commander, but he seems to despise war even more than he lets on. I will ensure that he arrives on time. Good work, Keltsit. Perhaps one day, the Sarkis can finally escape meaningless conflict and sacrifice. There's sorrow written all over your face. Is it because of the incident with Marco? In him, I saw a microcosm. The road ahead of us is still long, Keltsit. It's too long, Carissa. Such that your people want an answer, and they want it placed before them. But you'll accompany me down that road, won't you? Of course. That's it. I heard you were doing some fashion design last night. Oh no. Are you going to display me? No. Why would I? Proper relaxation is necessary for stress relief. This situation isn't optimistic. Your every move will affect the morale of all Sarkis. I know. Teresa. Doctor. What's the matter? Escalon sends word that Marco committed suicide out of fear of punishment. In order to avoid embarrassing his king. Teresa. I know. Doctor, what are you going to do next? In addition to the mercenaries, all Sarkis hiding under Castle's sphere of influence are paying close attention to our movements. This is a comprehensive relocation, and we have no margin of error when it comes to intelligence and logistics work. Thank you. I'll speak with Escalon later. She'll find good candidates. Very well. Doctor, don't worry. I trust you. Thank you. Hopefully, the visions that I've seen will... No, rather, as long as we can still see, let us move forward a bit. That's right. I've already gotten used to it. My words don't matter much, only when you live free in every moment are you truly alive. Go and experience the world for yourself. It will take many months to form your own ideas. That's it. I hope you will. You've been quite busy lately, right? There are many things you have to do. Proper rest is also necessary. There have been some small fluctuations in your psychological indicators as of late, and I will continue to monitor them. Right. Blaze will be here to give you a report tonight. She was the one who led the raid yesterday. Scout's outside. He was in charge of last night's operation. This is the record of one of his rare mission failures since enlisting in Babel. Come in. Commander, Dane, you're both here. Let me briefly explain what happened last night. When my squad was sweeping the battlefield, they found traces of enemy troops that could be tracked. I made the decision that this was the opportunity to sniff out the enemy's position. Insisted on giving chase and ended up being ambushed. The responsibility is mine alone, and I'm willing to accept The army's punishment. This is not a decision an old Sarkis mercenary would make. Regrettably, all my experience failed to let me know anything was wrong. Something has to actually happen for your experience to be worth anything. You lost no team members after the crisis occurred, indicating that your command was calm as you retreated, and task proper. You deserve recognition, not punishment. I don't understand how you reached this conclusion. Army discipline loses all meaning if it fails to recognize when to reward and when to punish. You know that, Scout. Why do you care so much about her reputation? I need a reason. Then counts it. How's Reika? She's out of danger. Scout opens his mouth to say something, but words fail him. Your heart is in turmoil. Rarely have I seen you struggle like this, even on the battlefield. If you can tell us what you're thinking, maybe we can. I insist that Reika not be punished in any way, because she's an orphan. Military discipline isn't a bleeding heart operation. Reika's father was a Sarkis mercenary who died in the Civil War. She's in good company in Castle. Her mother suffered from severe oropathy and was unable to raise her. Upon learning about this, Her Majesty Teresa has been providing financial support to their family. Nothing special about that either, if you don't have a better reason. Reika only enlisted in the army to repay Her Majesty's kindness. She once told me that fighting for Her Majesty is her only wish and the entire purpose of her life. Go on, Scout. I'm listening. In Castle, it is rare for children to have any wishes or anything to protect. They get sucked into the maelstrom of war, and then they die. So you hope to preserve Reika's reputation, to keep her wish to protect Her Majesty alive. Scout cannot answer. The battle-tested veteran falls back into silence. The doctor rises slowly, reaching out to pat Scout on the shoulder. Kelsit does not expect this. Sorry if that offended you. I knew you must have had a good reason. No one will be punished, but that will have an impact on discipline, which isn't going to be popular. Scout, I hope that in the future, you and your team will respond to doubt with action. I swear to do this, Commander. Dame, I'll be taking my leave. Promise me one thing before you go. Value your life and reputation the same as you do your teammates. I will. Additionally, Closure may approach you to discuss the Londonian issue. She's very concerned about my position on this matter. You can share some more about the decision-making process with her. After all, she's also a potential combat operator. You say that, but she's not playable yet. Of course, you can also discuss other things. What is it this time? I'm wondering if you're settled on the going to Londonium thing. I'm still discussing it, as the action itself is rather risky. Why are you so suddenly concerned about this? I'm worried you're not in the right headspace. I know you want to go, deep down, but you gotta think about the kind of danger we're up against. You waste a lot of energy getting all torn up. I'm not torn up. Road silent safety is always my first priority. It'd be great if one day you could just do whatever you want. You can't put it past me. I know how close you are to Teresa. There's no way you can stay out of Londonian thingy. This has nothing to do with Her Majesty. I only care about the pros and cons of the actions itself has on Rhodes Island. Yeah, I know. Always responsibility and duty. Take a day to treat yourself every once in a while. Leave all the boring stuff to the doctor. And let's knock some back. Just the two of us. Doesn't that sound nice? The doctor is already working very hard. I guess that's true. You'd think that Amnesia would give us an all-new doctor, but the workaholic part stays the same. But honestly, the old doctor was such a hard ass. I like the new version better. Because this one's easier to bully. I heard about the treadmill you gave the doctor. How it would start floating for no reason, and you had to watch ads to get it back down. That was a special promotion. I was trying to save the doctor money. I need you to be more considerate. The last thing I need is an overwhelmed doctor getting scared to death by levitating exercise equipment. Yeah, sure. Why so serious all of a sudden? Maybe it's something about how I knew the old doctor, but I keep getting this uncontrollable urge to pull the most hilarious pranks. Especially before, when the doctor was acting weirder and weirder. Enough closure. No more on this subject. I forbid you from mentioning a word to the doctor. Don't worry, I'm not that clueless. By the way, Keltsit, before we go to Londinium, I'm going to carry out a renovation of the underdevelopment area. Gotta thicken that hull at least. It'll be pricey, but I, a reliable engineer that I am, think that level of investment is still absolutely necessary. So on behalf of the engineering department, I've decided to fight for 3 days and nights to give the underdevelopment area a brand new look. No need. The underdevelopment area is the sturdiest place on the ship. I thought you'd say that. Right below the underdevelopment area is a drone hangar, and that hangar doesn't have any support pillars. Once we knock out the upper part, the top of the hangar will deform, and then... Keltsit, why are you glaring at me like that? I'm scared. You just want to do your own thing. Alright, cards on the table. I'm the chief engineer. Of course I'm gonna be curious about some place I can get into. I have my reasons. All those secrets in your gullet are gonna suffocate you. When are you going to open up to me already? You cannot carry this all by yourself. Maybe that day will come. Looking forward to it. Wait, huh? Did you just say something not super uptight? The patient placement work for Connor County will be completed today. In the coming days, you'll once again need to reassess the defensive strength of the settlement site. The medical department will forward the relevant data to you later. In the future, similar tasks will be gradually transferred over to elite operators so that your energy will not be diverted from more important issues. Sorry to budget, but look alive everyone. Dr. Kelsey is about to start her daily rounds. She's earlier than usual today. There's a bunch of logistic department folks as well. You should go see Dr. Keltsit and you should go see Dr. Keltsit about that forgetfulness of yours. That lass from the medical department came over to our ward for a week or so to touch bases and said that she was going to transfer all of us to a temporary medical settlement in Connor County. What's the point of other people talking if you're not going to remember a word on it? Don't worry, sir. After all, the arrangement was made rather hastily. I'll be reminding everyone again. The Rhodes Island Landship will be conducting a series of mock exercises around Victoria in the near future. We've decided to temporarily transfer you to a medical settlement in Connor County out of consideration for your safety. Please rest assured that the medical facilities are comprehensive, and you will be accompanied by most of the medical staff. Look, now that's Dr. Keltsit, how long have you been standing right beside me? Don't worry, I just got here. Ari, pass me this patient's blood report. You've recovered quickly, and your oropathy hasn't shown any signs of deterioration. The fact that I'm still here today is all thanks to you. When I think back to the day I first had an acute oropathy attack, you didn't close your eyes day or night so you could rescue me. It's my duty as a doctor. Next, I'll have to read the relevant agreement on the transfer and resettlement, and you'll sign the agreement after I read it, according to Article 4 of Rhodes Island Oropathy Treatment Regulations. Easy there, Doctor. You don't have to read all that. Rhodes Island has my complete and total trust, so just show me where I have to sign. I appreciate it, but reading out the agreement in its entirety is also to protect your rights. Ari, time is short, and we might not have the manpower to carry the patients. Check the hallway to see if anyone can help. Alright. Doctor, good afternoon. What brings you here? Doctor, are you available right now? We don't have enough staff to relocate the patients here and might need your help. Sure. Given your current physical condition, I'd recommend you not engage in any physical labor. At least let me give it a shot, don't understate me. Doctor, this isn't the commander of Rhodes Island, is it? The one that little Ari is always talking about every day. Sir, please don't say silly things like that. Doctor, I was just giving them an overview of Rhodes Island. Am I that popular? Having the commander of Rhodes Island transport me. There's no way. Now, don't be shy. Everyone in Rhodes Island is obligated to help in even the most commonplace of tasks. That hardly changes even for the person with the title of Field Commander. Let's get a move on. Come here and help me lift his upper body, and pay attention to the medical cable. Sure thing. Ari, what's this new device? Never seen it before. It's a crystal melting equipment, Rhinelab CR01 experimental model, with a built-in origin circuit. In the middle and late stages of oripathy, the body becomes filled with crystals, and the organs are easily damaged and ruptured. The crystal melting equipment utilizes the sequential release of concentrated energy to dissolve the crystallization. That's exactly right. See, it's just as I said. The doctor really knows everything. Don't just live like that. Use your left hand to place the patient's hands together over the side of your neck. Then use your right hand to cradle both the patient's legs. Sorry, I didn't pay close attention to Dr. Kelt's battlefield handling course, and didn't learn a lot of materials of that. That course was originally structured for you to cement your knowledge with practice anyways. But how do you know that, Doctor? If I recall, you were out in Sargon during that session. Maybe I'm just a genius. One last thing. Amia's been busy with various assignments of London trip as of late. Please take the time to make sure you look after her. She may be the leader of Rhodes Island, but she's also still a kid. Wow, fuck me. I don't know if I want to reach chapter 10 today. Vigilo is actually playing out to be longer than I even think. These big net stories are like all the preamble stories to the bigger stories of later. Oh, I think I'm gonna have a health collapse if I actually try to pull through into chapter 10. I think reading Vigilo might be enough for me today, considering. Yeah, this means that I would have been sitting here and working for about 10 hours now. Soon. Soon to be 10 hours. You are the leader of Babel, but you're also an oripathy patient. Please take your health seriously. I suggest you stop working and take a break immediately. Keltsit, you're sitting too much about others. No, Doctor, please come in. We weren't discussing anything confidential. I heard everything, Your Majesty. You should really be getting enough sleep. That was a tense meeting we had last night. All that battle talk must have tired you out. No worries. Conversely, Doctor, I would like to apologize for the words spoken by some of the participants. They did not intend to offend, but were slightly agitated. They were worried about my safety, but I understand that you must surely have considered all possible situations. This is the best solution. Theresis wants to regain the initiative. He knows that your strengths are also your weaknesses. But what he doesn't know is how much you are willing to sacrifice for the Sarkaz people. When Escalon's troops arrive in town, he'll see the writing on the wall. You're always so reassuring, Doctor. Listening to your words is more refreshing than sleeping. Theresa's weary face flashes a smile of relief, a smile that becomes gentler as she locks out the door. Come in. Yeah, sit next to me. No need to look around. There are no outsiders here, Mia. Dr. Kelsit. Good evening. I didn't mean to stay up this late. No one is blaming you, dear. Let me guess. Did you have a nightmare? No, I didn't. The soldiers moving around woke me up. I looked out of the window and saw Escalon getting ready for a long trip with the other fighters. They are on a mission. Escalon said she would never leave me or Her Majesty. I was worried, so I stuck in here to take a look. Amir, my dear Amir, the doctor gave Escalon a little job. They'll be back soon enough. Think about it. Has one of Doctor's battles ever run long? You're right. If that's what Doctor wants, I feel much better. Doctor is the best at making everyone feel safe. Amir, you should rest. Okay, I'm going to bed. Good night, everyone. What a sweet, lovable child. Doctor, before you came, I was a bit worried about the safety of the Rhodes Island landship in Escalon's absence. That's natural. Stretching his front line thin and circling a small town with no strategic significance, there's no telling what Teresa's true objective is. My safety is secondary. I'm more concerned about the safety of the children and researchers on the ship. But as Amir said, you really do give people a sense of security. What you've accomplished through your command leaves no room for doubt. Dr. Kelsit, the day we win this war shouldn't be far away, right? Now, all of that is well outside your normal schedule. Doctor, are you still listening? I'll stay quiet. Doctor, what does it mean to be truly alive? Where did that come from? Obeying someone else's will, losing reason to move on. Does that count as being alive? Isn't that just a robot? Keeping your body, but being separated from your memories. Does that count as being alive? That might make life rather confusing. If you had to choose one or the other, which would you choose? Choose to be... Kelsit casts a deeply pensive look at you. Freedom is not free. Wait, can I check something? Does your option here change the lines? This feels like an option where... This feels like a point where the lines might change. Oh, it doesn't? Okay. After you lost your memories, you woke up, were forced to fight, and forced to witness the sacrifice of human life. This whole time, you have barely had a single choice. Look into my eyes. Tell me, Doctor, why is it that you fight? Memories continue to pour forth in this moment, and everything that has happened since your awakening in Chernobyl flashes before your eyes vividly, joy and sorrow intertwining. An answer becomes clearer and clearer in your mind. You almost blurt it out subconsciously. Fighting against my destiny. Make sure you don't forget the answer you just gave me. Even if no one understands, we must continue this path. Doctor, you too will find your path. Next, verify language logic function integrity. PRTS, tell me a story. Alright. Ah, it's you. This entire time, you have been lingering there. Since your last visit, it has been 1-5. This sounds familiar. 5 days. Welcome to the Primitive Rhodes Island Terminal Service. Confirming permissions 42. Welcome, Leader 1. I'm pretty sure I heard this before. Seriously, I want a story, not something like this. Please understand that this is out of my area of expertise. Okay, let's have everyone understand each other's so we'll all live a better tomorrow, right? Yeah, I get it. Oh, exposure. Looks like the language logic is doing okay. Now let's look at the other parts. Is it really necessary to keep inspecting these areas for which PRPS has never reported any issues? Of course! It's been a very long time since we did have any data archiving on you. This is just like the regular physicals we do on humans. Had to make sure you're healthy and all. Programs have no concept of life. I kinda think you do though. Should I perhaps take that as a compliment? Of course. May I ask a question then? What exactly does a human think of the visual representation of my archives? It's kinda hard to describe. When I first took over the systems here, everything was a mess. Thinking back, that was a real disaster. Back then, most of your information were encrypted and ordered in such a scrambled way. Well, you're still that way right now, of course. If I were to describe you as a human, with the state you're in, I guess I'd say you had a combustion engine inside your body. But all your components like the ignition and whatnot and your piston are flipped upside down. To the point that I'm not even sure if your system that exists within bounds of common sense. Don't be like that. That's not a bad thing. I'm just saying how unique you are. Though I still can't make heads or tails of all these branching structures in your database, let alone the rules for how things are even read in that thing. At the very least, Celtic and I managed to fix and reorganize a decent chunk of it. How's that? No one knows you better than me right now. I feel terribly sorry. I feel terribly sorry that I can't help with that, Leader 1. Why so polite all of a sudden? If anyone could just self-diagnose themselves no matter what kind of weird diseases they had, then all the doctors in the world would be out of a job. What's this stuff in here? Let's see. Have you forgotten? This is the sarcophagus rescue operation simulated test runs. There were so many complicated routes, and we have so much data on these simulations. I may have not gone there myself, but I can recognize more or less all the pathways they could have written. Process 04291601, validation failed. Process 07201159, explanation failed. Process 08100957, validation succeeded. Process 09081800, validation failed. Terminated. But yeah, my impression is that we did run this quite a few times, but process 11290957, validation succeeded. Okay, I'm not gonna read this part out because it's gonna be very continuous. Okay, this one. Process tally 167, execution notes 3700. Did you seriously run that many times though? While that may be the case, the Doctor was successfully evacuated from Chernobyl in only 2 of the simulations. These are all simulations I was able to complete within the short amount of time. Have there been more times I would have conducted even more test runs to find an even more optimal and stable rescue plan? If I remember correctly, the actual rescue mission was planned around these two simulations results. If it wasn't for these two successful runs, we could never even have figured out how to get the doctor out. But actually, in reality, we made 3 times as many sacrifices as we had anticipated. If this had occurred during the simulations according to our procedures, this operation would likely have to be called off. That's all in the past, no use talking about it. It's not like I can put a time machine together. Sounds like a fun idea though. Let me jot it down. Anyways, if we call this operation off, that also mean I don't really want to say this, and it probably sounds like I'm exaggerating and it's too sentimental, but the idea pops in my head every once in a while. If we called it off, it would have cost us our future. What's up? Is it really reasonable to bet it all on one single person? I can understand what had driven you to make this decision. However, considering the odds, I do not support an operation like this. That is considering both your safety as well as the others. PRTS, I'm sure you know this yourself. The doctor stands for a lot of things. It's understandable. I used to wonder how Babel or one-sided with a doctor would be. What do you think would have happened to us? Amir and Keltse probably would stay out of Ursus and we never have crossed paths with Reunion. Don't you think we would have been in better shape? By the way, I can't believe it. I'm actually gonna give you a really early warning. I've only streamed for 2.5 hours, but it's also 11:30 where I live. I am seeing things. I am starting to double vision. Like, I'm starting to see ghosts. We might also have been driven into a corner and taken even worse losses. Everyone would get the pink slip, and then we'd all just split and go home, wherever home's supposed to be. I am sensing some kind of dry humor in your statement. It's a joke, alright? If I actually thought that way, Keltse would have thrown me off the bridge a long time ago. Let's face it though, compared to now, we had a much harder time during those few years without the doctor, don't you agree? You know how miserable I was when Keltse was our only boss? She'd always work my ass off all day. Like, I was supposed to be a machine that ran 24/7 too. She never thought about giving me a single break. Seriously, I thought I was able to... I thought I was probably gonna go bald working that much. Real-time logging activated. The previous statement has been committed to the database. Why do you... Don't record anything. We can't let Keltse hear any of that. I'm not saying anything bad. Sorry. Sorry. I'm not saying this is anything bad. We are all here because we wanted to follow Teresa's dreams, her ideals. This goes for everyone that was at Babel too. I'm failing. I failed at this line, right? Yeah. Systems are shutting down. Ever since Teresa left us, all of us spent so much time just to get used to things. Some of us are probably still confused even now. Sorry, what's this? It isn't often that you elaborate on how you think. You think I'm just the kind of girl who stands by to watch things happen. Are you not? Your observations and computations are a lot more objective and accurate than the humans. Maybe you're right. Here, let me tell you a story. Do you know what it was like when they came to the castle to look for me? I'm not sure if I ever told you about my family. A family of vampires. You can smell the rotten stench in the words alone, right? You come from a branch of the Sarkis lineage, and a very ancient one at that. Ancient and old-fashioned too. For the longest time, I didn't know if I had the talent for the vampire arts. Of course, it wouldn't matter if I did. I was never into stuff like that. Not even one bit. You could say that I'm a little... Okay, not just a little. I'm very unorthodox. I only wanted to do what I want to do, and that's why I never stepped out of my little garret. My family almost kicked me out a couple of times, but for some reason, they never went there. You sound like you're reminiscing about your family. I guess I am. Back then, I was just a kid who didn't care about anything or anyone else. These days, I'm starting to miss home a little. I had a few friends. We did all kinds of stupid stuff. Crazy stuff. I hid my signature in the nooks and crannies of all kinds of data and information. I played around in the databases of organizations people thought were impenetrable. Basically just announced myself to everyone out there. It probably sounds silly now, but at that time they called me the destroyer of the castle information world. Of course, not a lot of people knew who I was. That moniker doesn't have a very positive image. Would you like me to search through castle lore and help you find any relevant entries? Thanks, but I'm good. Anyways, while I was living my life like that, one day, there was a sign that anything special was going to happen that day. By the way, there was no sign that anything special was going to happen that day. By the way, but what? Even on reread, it doesn't sound correct. Why is this just weird by the way here? What's this phrase doing here? It doesn't sound... Oh! There was no sign of that anything special was going to happen that day, by the way, but something special happened, just like that. Someone opened the door to my garret. I had it locked down tight. Still have no clue how she got it open so easy. That was Teresa, same as she looked on the news. No Sarkis would ever mistake her for anyone else. It's possible that others who share the same general appearance, if someone who looked like Teresa had appeared... Wait. What is this, a hologram of Teresa? The monarch herself showed up and waltzed into my little room. Then she told me she was looking for someone to break the shackles of tradition. And for that, she needed an engineer, the key to her pets. She didn't even try to explain anything to me at first. Nope, not a word to try to convince me to go with her. If it had been anybody but Teresa, I'd thought they were nuts and would have thrown them right out of the window. So you turned her down? Nope, I accepted her offer. I said yes because of the curiosity that had been driving me the whole time. Then I went to the meeting place she told me about. That's where I first met the doctor, who happened to be picking me up. I still remember when we first arrived. Unlike right now, it wasn't just you who was there. Doctor was there too. Sounds like Doctor was a guardian keeping watch when the two of us met for the first time. You know, you got pretty quiet sometimes. Makes me wonder why. I'm not sure why I prefer to keep quiet a lot of times. By the way, is this PRTS just straight up Christus, as in like... Feels like I'm supposed to see her visual by now. Whatever, your system and programming is a mystery, but don't you worry, I'll do my best to figure it out. Let's keep going. Not long after I took charge of Rhode Island Engineering, the doctor and... wait. Let's keep going. Not long after I took charge of Rhode Island Engineering, the doctor and Teresa came and showed me a weapon. Never seen anything like it. The doctor asked me if there was any way to read the firmware and restore its original functions. It was tough, but I managed to do it, of course. It wasn't until later that I found out. With the data I provided, the doctor reverse engineered the device mechanisms and even managed to use it to turn the tide when we were stuck in a really tight spot. Ace and the gang thought there was no way we were going to win, but we actually managed to pull it out. This is rather adventurous. Using unauthorized equipment rashly can lead to information mismatch or worse, lead to the user being exposed to the device's internal detection mechanisms. Right, it fell off to me before I even finished looking through the thing, but the doctor told me I don't need to worry about any of that. It's like the doctor knew about everything in advance, even the probability that I had the thing checked. Who knows how doctor managed to do that? Speaking of which, this is just my own feeling, but when I meet the doctor here again, it kind of feels like meeting a totally different person. It's possible there are those who look exactly the same. Come on, we're not looking into that possibility. Okay, if we insist. I can tell the doctor who came back to Rhode Island is the same old doctor though. Also, kind of a completely different person on the inside too. Guys, my brain is getting fried. I'm getting cooked again. Vigilo is making my brain cook. I can feel like parts of my brain has just vanished in an instant. How can I say this? Just like that last operation, the doctor's calculations were so accurate that our jaws all dropped. We won a fight we weren't going to win. I almost gave our friend a nickname, Super Demonic Processor. But then, the very next time, the doctor surprised us with a whole other strategy. It's like that was a whole other person all of a sudden, who could figure out the other side's thinking perfectly without using any formulas or whatever. Are you saying Doctor has a broad range of different operational strategies? Judging from the records, that does appear to be the case. As a matter of fact, the records showing the Doctor's deployment style has not been very consistent recently. Whatever kinds of record Doctor leaves behind or doesn't, I'm not gonna call it strange. Is something affecting the Doctor's thinking and actions? That's a real difficult question. If you ask me, I think only the Doctor can influence the Doctor. But it's also really talkative at other times. Have you noticed that? I kind of think that maybe the Doctor is normally so quiet because it's like laying the groundwork for some kind of pivotal moment to come. The Doctor makes decisions that look wild and crazy to us, beyond our expectations, and those decisions lead Rhode Island down an entirely different path. Deviating from the plan also comes with risk. I can I can only hope that we are not heading down a treacherous path. Yet yes, remember what I said was the first thing that Teresa told me when we first met. She said she was looking for someone who could break the shackles of tradition. I think that's the standard she used to pick people, and that's what most of us here have in common. Of course, the doctor here, everyone follows the doctor. They go right along without hesitation. I quite like this term. It has been stored in my dictionary. Sorry. I quite like this term. It has been stored in the database for a very long time. In fact, I was one of the first teams to be added to my terms base. Looks like that mystery creator of yours liked it too. Perhaps. I cannot give you a more accurate response as I do not know the answer. Whatever the case may be, that's how things are. The doctor treats everyone well, though I guess the old one treated though I guess the old one treated everyone pretty well too. It's not easy to figure out just what this season is going to do and when or where the effects will play out. If the bad guys can't make sense of it, do we have a hope of figuring out the doctor just because we're on the same side? To tell you the truth, I can have doubts. You doubt, Doctor? No, not at all. Compared to Kelsit, I get along with Doctor way better. The point is, this Doctor is nothing like the old one. If we look at the new one the same way we did the old one, then I'd say we're underestimating our new Doctor. It isn't often that you judge a person so seriously. That's probably because I really admire the Doctor from the bottom of my heart. It was hard on everyone when Teresa left us. We lost too many people in those 2 years. You know that better than anyone else. We were driven into a corner basically. No matter which way we decided to go, we were walking a rope that could snap at any time. In the end, it was Amia who decided we had to do something to get us out of the mess. And the conclusion? Bring back the Doctor. Sorry, that was BRTS. My bad. That's right, Amia believed that the Doctor will bring lots of change, something that Rhodes Island desperately needed at the time. It was a gamble really. We had to do something. We had to change something. It was better than watching the few friends we had left bleed all over the place for no good reason. Amia was the only one to give orders back then, and she helped a lot of folks make up their minds on the topic when they'd been wishy-washy. Time proved Amia right. We needed the Doctor. The Doctor brought change to Rhodes Island. From a probability standpoint, I would not agree with such a gamble. You know, PRTS, I've always thought of you as a pretty strange entity. The way you think is basically on the level of humans, but you still lack something human. What would that be? Persistence. That's the kind of thing that drives people to achieve great things and sometimes turns them into monsters. Wait, what am I doing? I thought I was going to tell you a story. Damn it, I was going to talk about my heroic adventures as the destroyer of the Castle Information World, but somehow I got so off topic. I think our conversation today has been meaningful. Although it indeed is not the destroyer of the Castle Information World's heroic adventures. You aren't trying to make fun of me now because I had you admit you were terrible at telling stories, right? Don't you keep this conversation in the logs? I don't want Kelsey to find out what a long conversation I had with you the next time she goes looking stuff up. Hang on, you won't play this for her, right? I won't. Well then, that's good to hear. Either one, Do you remember when you set a campaign to play Closure's Midnight Video Market every night at midnight? Sorry. Your evaluation of the Doctor has been so sincere that even I, an inorganic being, was moved. We should have it on loop in the Doctor's office for at least a month. Stop. Don't do it. Seriously, don't you dare. I'd start coughing up blood for embarrassment even before Celtic got to me. Now they make a real disgrace to the vampires. Alright, what a shame. What a shame? Jeez, your personality really take a turn for the worse. I'm gonna set a program that restricts your playback permissions one of these days. Wait. Closing permissions. Right, this will do. Yep, your checkup is just about done. Well, I'll get going. Whoa, Doctor! What are you doing here? How long have you been there? I just got here. He's kinda suspicious. Are you here to check the battle records from the other day? Wait, don't just stand there. Come on in. I just finished PRTS checkup. I'd love to have a chat with you, but I got facility checks around the... Shit. My short-circuited brain was about to say house. And like when I say house, I'm envisioning my house. Don't have much time. Well, gotta go. Good afternoon, Doctor. Is there anything I can help you with? Would you like to check the battle records? Yes. Please, go ahead. Neither one's evaluation was very much on point. You've gotten quieter. Please feel free to ask anything you would like, from Rhodes Island current operational details to any questions you have regarding our archive files. Anything at all? As long as there are files in my database and you possess the sufficient permissions. You may ask me anything. Well then, tell me, who's priestess? How come not even Celtic can tell me who this priestess was? But the mistake that he made was the fact that he asked the priestess itself. Insufficient permissions. Warning, your permissions are insufficient. At this time, no registered members possess the permissions for this question to be answered. Warning. I apologize, Doctor. It appears I, too, cannot answer your question. Regarding this question, perhaps you could try to look for the answer through other means. Is there anything else? I am always happy to help. Perhaps I should try that omniscient Celtic once again. Activating self-verification program. Photography module running. Video module has not yet been shut down. Saving progress. 89%, 91%, 97%. Searching internal array. Expanding search to special permissions level. Verified. System logic is functioning correctly. All systems operational. Found special item. Video file previously stored. Date unknown. Item has not been restricted by permissions. Looping video. Subject. TSS first functional test. File name. Record. 000000001 alpha. Your question has been answered, Doctor. The program will be terminated automatically in 3 seconds and locked. 3, 2, 1. Why did it end like that? He meant Doctor didn't see it. Yeah, I know. Doctor walked away. Is a direct teaser to what? Is there a story that immediately continues after this scene? Is it this? No. Is there no direct continuation past that scene? So the scene is just isolated like that. Okay. Ooh. Okay. The thing is, I would love to read more, but I don't think I have the strength to continue because I've been working so much in the past few days. It's not easy to like have a whole day of using my voice to film videos and then afterwards to still come back to do some reading. I'm not gonna read the Warframe story record. I'll read it at the start of tomorrow. That means that I can't finish chapter 10 before the live stream in GP happens. I'll probably do it like 2-parters, so I'll just do 1 part tomorrow and I'll see what time I can schedule next week in order to just read 1 more. What's my impression of the past Doctor? He's a lot more firm. He's a lot more like, I know what I can do. There's some similarities for sure between the current Doctor and the past Doctor, based on what it goes to say. And it seems that they also all generally have more... I wouldn't say like he's a guy in command. It's just they all have respect for each other as commanders in their own rights. Yeah, he's more calculating, correct. He has more shit going on in his head. He's more firm. So that's about it. But it makes you, I think when you see that past version, then it suddenly makes you curious, because having read chapter 8 already, right? The whole part where you got to learn that he killed Teresa, right? Like, it suddenly makes you wonder, like, what the fuck happened? Why did you kill Teresa? Because all these past interactions doesn't quite explain it. Although there's the whole thing about the spies and everything, which just makes me think, like, is it because at a certain point, they lost trust in Teresa, kind of thing. Like, they thought that Teresa was the enemy, and then they had to go for the kill. But what is it actually? Or is it because like she's a growing force that they got scared of? So yeah. But this priestess thing is pretty weird, I would say, as well. As in, you first heard of it in chapter 8. It was because the Doctor has flashing memories of the word priestess, right? And then he asked Keltsid who this priestess was. And then now in Vigilo, they brought it up again, where he tried to ask PRTS itself what priestess is. But priestess is a very interesting entity, because as I don't know what the... I don't have the spoilers, I don't have the later information in the game, but at least I understand she's a really strange, like, almost omniscient being of like, just almost like a deity, a god of sorts, which is so strange. At least from what I see as a glimpse of chapter 15. So yeah. My rating for Vigilo, I mean, it sucks that I read this a bit in a tired way. It's still very exposition heavy. That makes me feel like, wow, nothing wrong with heavy exposition, although I see of it as there's a little part of me that feels it can be shorter. So I'm gonna say that this is 8 out of 10. I think, to me, 8 out of 10. I rated Okay the Dust at 7, right? Yeah, I think it's 8. Why, would you all have rated lower? You think 8 is quite high? Oh, 8 while tired is high. I agree, 8 while tired is pretty high. As in, I think I like that it added mysteries. A story is good if I get left hung with a mystery. So yeah. Oh, that's that. Okay, anyways, I fried myself. I will change the thumbnail and the YouTube title when I wake up tomorrow, not now. So I apologize, it's like one of the shorter reading streams, but it happens. Have I ever greatly shortened my reading stream in the past? No, this is the shortest reading stream I've ever had. And actually this was what it was supposed to be, because when I initially planned my stream schedule, I was going to read all of Walk in the Dust in a singular stream and all of Vigilo in a singular stream. Like, I didn't even, I had no plans to merge them, but it's because I realized I couldn't make certain dates, then I put them together, and then I failed because I got tired. And then now, I tried to put Vigilo with chapter 10, thinking Vigilo is a small story, but it's not exactly short, you know, it still took me hours to get through it. So yeah. But right, today was just supposed to be reading chapter 10, half of it on its own. So, oh wells. Alright. Please take care. Coming days is really packed to stream. Coming days is packed to do anything. Like, don't worry in terms of like, oh, don't burn out and stuff like that. Like, I'm not really burning out or anything because I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm enjoying the fact that I get to stream more and make more videos. But there's also that little part of me that says, God damn, what a hard life this is. To suddenly like be back in action and be a full-time AK creator. It's wow, you know. So honestly speaking, I'm also trying to pace myself and see what this is supposed to be. But I do feel that at least understanding how much I can work within a day, it's also me trying to learn how much of an impact it takes on my health. So I'm learning things about myself in the meantime. That's that. The New Year boost is still in effect. It's not really a New Year boost. This is my post-graduation boost of like, finally I decided I have all the time in the world to commit to what I've always wanted to do in the past few years. It's such a weird... there's a little part of me that feels that this is a very two-way thing. One being, it's a strange time for me to try to be active again in the AK community, because I think AK Global, the attention that is given to AK Global is smaller than it used to be, meaning like people aren't as interested to either play the game, you know, people are either burnt out from AK or dropping AK, either to switch to other games or just not play games at all. So trying to be a full-time content creator now feels like a very strange timing, but yet at the same time this is also the opportunity timing, just because Enfield is happening, Enfield is going to be a thing, and it will reignite people's interest in AK again. So I'll take whatever that happens, you know. I'm rolling with the flow on this one. So yeah. Okay, anyways, I rambled while I'm very sleepy already. My brain is about to gunshot itself soon. So I'm gonna go to bed. I'll see you guys tomorrow. There should be editing streams plus another reading stream. I need to make sure I might do the reading stream earlier because I'm waking up early for the JP live stream on Saturday after all. So I'll see. Anyways, good night. Bye bye.